And you just have to be like, oh, okay, fine. Or be like, what? No. But I don't know exactly what we're going to do. There was also a video I wanted to do instead of that, because I have a vague memory of a actual Phoenix Wright video where they had that song, but with the characters singing it. And, like, all the bad guys singing, like, we lost, or the law won. And, of course, Larry always wins. But I could not find it. I did find a really good one, but I also could not, put it on screen. If I can fix that, that'll probably be, like, the part I use to introduce the next Ace Attorney game we do, because it's hilarious. And I'm sure people would enjoy it. Or just watch it somewhere, I don't know. A lot of them are dumb. Like, in the really dumb way. But anyways, hello, Sanosuke. Game. Not stream. Because I'm pretty sure... I mean, I guess it wouldn't matter. I doubt they're in the next game either. But, like, the two characters... I guess it is actually Edgeworth is in there, so... But, you know, the other two characters involved are probably not there, on account of... Well, on account of things I actually don't know, if that is true or not. Either way, we're going to continue today. I know it's a little bit earlier than usual. I think I usually start at 10. But I wasn't really doing anything. And I kind of like got everything set up. And then I was like, well, why not go ahead and start now? Now that I've spent 10 minutes wasting times on bars that I could have just got myself. And yeah, I know I was super vague, because it's not fun if you know exactly what's going to happen. Forgotten Turnabout. End! Well, thanks for the spoiler, game. Now I know we're at the end. I'm actually glad we're at the end. At least we're reaching the end point, because I'm tired of seeing Kay so sad. Oh boy, here I go accusing again. Or inspecting again, I guess. This is the second time I've been in this cell. Like, today. No, wait, was it yesterday? I guess technically it was yesterday, but that's not important. All of my evidence has been taken from me. What? Even your badge? Except for this one. The only thing I have left is Kei's Yadagarasu badge. Oh yeah, I guess he already lost his badge. I'm worried about Kei. Is she alright? Where did he hide the badge? Or did he just not care? Yes, I vaguely recall that now. I guess we should recap for my sake and your sake. And then Sivio will probably give us the eyes as I make some odd comment, and it's like, nope, that's not right. Let's see. Kei was called to the top of the PIC building, which is apparently just a public tourist attraction because prosecutors are popular in this world. In order to get back her journal from her father that contains her promises. Jill... Do I forget the last name? Is that in my organizer? Yes. This one. Jill Crane is the one that called her there with some notes that we do not have currently. And while waiting for her, Kei was shoved off the building, or shoved into a hole that led to a room full of old, like, evidence for some reason. I don't really get... I'm sure that part will be explained, but apparently they're auctioning off all of this old evidence in order to get money for something. And it's very anonymous. They wear masks and whatnot. And use voice changers. I'm sure it'll probably be explained on why they are selling things, like what was the really weird one? I mean, there's that statue for one. Two, the picture. I'm sure that's just a cameo, but I could have sworn Grossworth got that back. I mean, Red White's the one that took it, not the evidence. It wasn't put in the evidence locker, I don't think. But Kay was badly injured and lost her memory. You never see it after that? I thought he made a comment about it. I do think we'd never really go back to his office. After that one scene where it's just kind of gone. He usually just shows up. How convenient. But Courtney and Sebastian's dad, this guy, decided to arrest Kay because they believe that she is the one who murdered Jill Crane. There was also a thought that Jill was the conductor of the auction, but now we're not sure because the auction kept going without her. Even though she was wearing the same outfit as the conductor. Also, Lotta's here, because of course she is. I don't think anything else is important. Other than we got arrested, by the way. For trying to assist a criminal. Or a suspected criminal. I'm expecting this is when Sebastian's gonna actually do something. Yes, she does show up a lot. I suspect this is when Sebastian's gonna act up, because he is being treated unfairly by someone he seems to actually trust. Oh, that's not what I meant, but I was just saying, here's Courtney, and then here's Sebastian's dad. They're the ones that arrested Kay. Sebastian didn't really have anything to do with that. He was just kind of there. Like, I think he agrees, but... I forgot his name. Like, what is... His name is just Blaze. Because he sets things on fire, I guess? Do we ever... I wish we had some kind of, like, explanation on the paper he's getting rid of. It's like, is he just burning bad fanfiction or something? Ow! I should really move that at some point so I stop needing it. But why does he just... That's wasting trees. He's murdering trees. Clearly a villain. At least when papers has something written on it, it's useful. Dramatic people are wasteful. Can confirm. Flash paper? He also seems very adept at it, because he just kind of lets go and doesn't burn his fingers at all, despite how quickly it bursts into flames. Oh, you know, despite being a mage, I've never actually seen a real, like, magician show. Anyway. Also, here's Raymond Shields. He's cool. I don't think he's really done anything at all this entire section, other than just joke around and people going, you're never really serious, are you? But he's cool, so it's fine. He's mean. I remember looking down at the person in the red raincoat. Yeah, he just has to stand there and be amazing. I'm sure you can relate, Sivia. Mr. Edgeworth, it was me! The culprit was me all along! And, you know, Kay, not knowing what's going on, only gets glimpses of the past, and seems to believe she is the one at fault. Even though she wouldn't be, because she's Kay. You have a visitor, please hurry out. A visitor? Who could it be? Someone by the name of Gumshoe. Will you turn him down? Why is this guard pretending like he wouldn't know who Gumshoe is? That guy has to be popular, right? No. It'll be hard to face him, though. Wait there. Hang on, I'm gonna go through the stupid door. Edgeworth, he just said wait there and you already disappeared from the background. Like, that's not polite at all. He's not gonna stay and keep watch? Pardon me. Oh, it's you. Hello, Greninja. You're not Gumshoe. Judge Courtney. Hush. Please, have a seat. Why are you here? I was told it was the detective had come. If I didn't instruct him to tell you that, you wouldn't be sitting here right now, would you? Can't think of anything she'd need from me at this point. Unless she wants the code to my samurai safe. But nothing can break into there. I mean, we just went over this, but he is assisting Kay, who they believe to be a criminal, and he is not actually a prosecutor at the moment, because he turned in his badge. I guess I did skip that part. I should try to figure out what she wants. I mean, I assume she would tell you. Your visitation rights have been restricted to begin with. As if I'm some monstrous criminal. I suppose my credibility has hit rock bottom. No, it just means they're afraid of you. But of course, your friends have fared a little bit better, though. That lawyer and the girl were both quite worked up. Mr. Shields and Imp. When I last saw them, they were giving one of the guards quite an earful. What? You don't mean? Be grateful. The goddess of law has been quite busy. You know, with cleaning blood off herself and everything. They were spared punishment. Certainly seems like you had plenty of time for small talk. Oh yes, Prosecutor Von Karma's presently continuing the investigation. You were worried about them, right? I guess she saw right through me. And through this glass separating us. Let's cut to the chase. Exactly what are you planning? I am not planning anything. I'm merely here to gloat. There is merely a question I wish to ask. You're asking me? Yes, but that wasn't the question. Who else is here? That also was not the question. So, you know, don't get it confused with that question and this question. The question I have is the following question, which I will speak momentarily. But objectively speaking, you are a clever individual, and you have a sharp mind. As a prosecutor, you are highly talented and capable. I'm getting on my nerves. Are you being ironic? Your sarcasm falls short. I am being completely sincere for once, and that is why I cannot understand. Take this case, for example. You're up against the PIC. There was no chance for you to come out on top. Even a child could understand, and yet you... Perhaps my younger self would not have done something so reckless. The me from before had power, that's why I thought justice was on my side. Just like you right now. However, because of a certain man, who I will not mention by name, but he's a man from that country. He always speaks that language. And my self-centered sense of justice was broken down by that man. Ever since then, I began to see people in a different light. I'm able to serve as a prosecutor only because of the support of the people around me, and that man. People like Detective Gumshoe, and all the other investigators who won't be named. And Kay as well. Honestly, I mean, even I'm surprised how much I've changed. It's almost like my adopted dad died or something. I see. Is that how it is? I've come to understand you a little more. Understand me? Not likely. Someone like you, who forces her own sense of justice onto others, could never understand. I wonder about that. Is that what you think? If I could say one thing, it would be that this conversation has been very interesting. That is all. What? Our conversation is coming to an end, however. I have one last thing to tell you. The date of your hearing has been set. I came here today to inform you. Today, in the PIC meeting room, may you humbly accept your fate. If that's all you wanted to say, couldn't you have just sent a messenger? The holy words of the goddess of law simply cannot be entrusted to others. But they're entrusted to you. And with that, Mr. Edward, I bid you farewell. I shall be seeing you again later. Or at least half of you, since my eye is currently covered. Goodbye! So was the guard just waiting outside the door the whole time? I enjoy that they didn't even bother putting in the door there. They just kind of walk through it. Like, we don't want to animate actually opening this door. Not for this scene. See, even this game couldn't get proper prison cell doors. Even they struggled with it. I mustn't neglect my personal appearance just because I'm in a holding cell. Prosecutor or not, this is my personal duty. My collar is slightly bent! There. A well-groomed appearance reflects a well-groomed mind. I feel like that was targeted at me. I'm never leaving. From here on, I'll need to focus myself more than ever. Don't want your collar to be slightly bent. Well, look at the ball thing on the ground. What is that? Why is there a ball and chain in here? There's a dining menu on the desk. That's probably like the fanciest thing in here. Means I can get food delivered if I pay for it. With money I don't have because I'm in jail. Let's see, moldy white bread lunch set. Switch to moldy white wheat bread for an extra $1. Oatmeal and grits set meal. For a limited time, get extra gruel at no additional cost. Wow, what a deal. Thank goodness I'm not hungry right now. There's a poster on the wall next to the toilet. We are currently out of toilet paper. Please be prepared if you wish to use the toilet. What does it mean by be prepared? Is the Lion King? It's a simple bed. I don't expect it to be very comfortable to sleep on. If I were Detective Gumshoe, he would probably snore loudly while sleeping like a log. Or if it were. I may never get a chance to work with him again. Oh. However, this is the path I chose. I won't regret it. And I mean, we could still talk, probably. And he'll be like, nah, I gotta go do the thing, pal. If I don't, Prosecutor Von Karma will whip me again. Sorry, I can't be here anymore. Like, oh, man. But we were gonna watch the Steel Samurai. Can I look out the window? Thick bars placed securely on the window. That reminds me, I watched a movie that had iron bars just like these. It was about a plan to escape a prison by filing down the iron bars. Of course, I wouldn't do such a thing. I don't even have a file. But if I did, then maybe. No, even if I had one, I still wouldn't do it. Dang it. He heard me ad-libbing. There's a poster hanging in the hallway.
Entertain me!
Objection. I feel like it's been longer than 19 months since I've subbed. I propose an investigation to get this nonsense sorted out. Bluma 1 soft blob.
Not so fast, Dragon. Thanks to the giant 19 months thing that you have there and the amount of thanks that I have for you, I'm afraid to say that it has been 19 months since you started to sub. Or at least since you started to sub. I was gonna say at least since I could be subbed to, but Sivia outranks you. But regardless, hello Dragon, hope you're having a good day. Also, hello Flame, hope you're having a good day. Also, I hope you feel better, and everyone spam Dragon with hearts, okay, and thanks. The Dyson Slice game. Roll the dice to decide your daily menu. The Dyson Slice game has been cancelled due to the warden's arrest. Oh no! We sincerely apologize to everyone who was looking forward to it. There's no need to apologize for canceling such a silly game. Another visitor. Okay, It seems you're alright. I mean, overall. I'm relieved, for now. You know, this is kinda touching. You look a little down, Kay. Please, cheer up. You didn't do anything wrong, I guarantee it. Please, just accept it. I'm a murderer. That's not true. Why won't you believe in yourself? What should I believe in? I mean, there's nothing. There's nothing to believe in? That's not true. Before you lost your memories, you literally jumped into my life. I mean, literally. Like, you actually jumped. As a result, your words and actions become engraved in my memories. That's the mark you left behind. How can you call that nothing? I believe in your innocence. That's why you must believe in yourself as well. Believe in the you that believes in the me that believes in your innocence. Thank you, but it's no use. Look at all this misfortune I brought upon you. It's like Sonic 06 up in here. You can, please forget it all. Your memories of Kay Faraday are so far away. Kay! Is she just allowed to walk away like that? You know, this takes me back. In my youth, I too was gallant. Is this the kind of justice the PIC seeks? Justice, huh? I wonder. This man, what is he planning? Why is he pushing things forward so forcefully? Especially that lighter, he's kind of forcing it a little close to me, and I don't appreciate it. It all seems too unnatural. Is there a hidden agenda? There's no time left. It's all or nothing now. Well then, I must take my leave. Hold it. Chess. No matter how you look at it, Kay's arrest was unnatural. Must be something behind it. Hey, I'm a busy man, you know. I'm kind of a big deal, you see? I trust this won't take up too much of my time. In order to make it out of this situation, I must break through his defenses. There are plenty of things I want to ask, but my timing is limited. First, I'll ask about why he rushed the arrest. I have no intention of letting him push me around. I will overcome this difficult situation through these bars. I can break these bars. Kay is not the culprit. My, that's a rather bold claim, you know. Anyone can shout objections at the top of the lungs, you see, Mr. Former Prodigy Prosecutor. I just wish someone would stop for a second after saying Prodigy Prosecutor and be like, we have an awful lot of those. Wonder if it's like an infestation. Has there been a case without a hidden agenda? I mean, sometimes it's just straight up murder. I don't know if that's a hidden agenda. Ow. It's no use. I don't have enough information. My chance will come sooner or later. And when it does, I mustn't let it slip by. Why did you rush your arrest? I would like a clear explanation. Explanation? What are you talking about? Don't play dumb with me. You clearly did not follow the proper procedures. Okay, maybe you should pipe down a bit. Do you even know the position you're in? I'm behind bars, yes. I'm right in front of you. Haven't you realized it yet? I have you cornered. I just wanted to see what this one would do. I know that this one's bad, but I kind of expect him to actually comment, like, I'm a prisoner! That looks really bad when it's behind the chess pieces. That was a waste of time. He didn't say it, though. That will come difficult situation. Why did you rush your arrest? I've lost twice, so I might as well... Oh yeah, I guess I did lose twice. Should I count that as points? I don't know, one of them was just like going down the wrong path first. I guess I have before, so... Yeah, simple motives like destroying the universe. We'll probably have like a world-conquering villain in one Ace Attorney game, if we haven't already. Does red, white, and blue corp count? Like a clear explanation? Explanation? What are you talking about? Blah, blah, blah. Can I wait and see? Like... I'm not a prosecutor at the moment. And he seems agitated. Suppose we let the criminal escape. What do you think will happen? What will happen? I would be made to take responsibility, you see? I do hope you can understand. Just take my advice and stay out of this, if you know what's good for you. I refuse. Kay is innocent. You know this is so pitiful. It brings me to tears. Why won't you just give up? Things were finally going well. Things were going well, you say? That's a strange way to put it. It almost sounds as if you personally wanted Kay to be arrested. Far more than necessary. Haven't you lost your impartiality? Did I say that word right? Oof. Huh, you think so? That certainly wasn't my intention, you see. Edgeworth, my boy, you're reading too much into it. Skillfully avoided the issue. However, I still have some serious doubts about Kay's arrest. Next, I shall ask him if the investigation was sufficient. My powers restored. I can't miss even the teeniest piece of information. It's the only way to break through this situation. How long did you investigate? How much time was spent on the investigation? You know, I wonder about that. I don't really remember, you see. There's no way I can accept such a careless answer. Like I said, I don't remember. My memory's not as sharp as it used to be, you see. Sometimes I even forget my own son's name. I don't care about your idiot son. I want your answer regarding the investigation. Yeah, he really is an idiot. Even though I don't remember raising him like that. There's no end to this. He just keeps on dodging the question. Let's try another line of attack and make him take me seriously. Yeah, that's pretty mean. It's hard to say the investigation was sufficient. The arrest, was it under your authority? My, do I really look that important? The Prosecutor Investigation Committee Chairman. It's quite a prominent title. Not that I care much for it. That was rather blunt. I'm shocked. I could cry. I'm sorry. Flattery was never my forte. Yeah. If you keep talking like that towards me, you'll never get your prosecutor's badge back, you know. I can kind of see, like, the relation between him and Sebastian, though. Sebastian does that, too. I don't need my badge. Let me make this clear right now. I do not live for the sake of my badge. Status means nothing to me. Do you understand? Young, so young. Let me teach you something as your senior in life. What you're saying right now, it's far too naive, you see. Look at his eyes, it's changed. He might respond differently to some of my questions now. This is my chance. How much time was spent on the investigation? Well, aren't you impertinent one? Even someone like me is starting to get annoyed. Things are really heating up in a Pokemon battle. What a coincidence, I feel the same way. Answer me, was the investigation sufficient? Young folks always live life on the fast lane. That's why I like to bully them. You'll regret this soon enough. I don't really... You sure are quiet. Are you scared? Ridiculous. I was just thinking about my next strategy. On how to extract information from a weepy old man. You should show some remorse, you know, don't you get it? I hold your fate in my hands. Haven't you realized it yet? I have you cornered! Except I don't. That's definitely his I need to wait face. Ow. I have to go through the whole thing again. Blah, blah, blah. Answer. Your investigation, sufficient. In any case, even if you obtain some information, there's nothing you can do. Just give up already. I refuse. Mind if I ask why? It's simple. The truth is fading away. That's all there is to it. I see. Starting to understand what kind of person you are. But you know it's all useless. It's all useless. Enough to make me cry. Give it up. That girl's guilt has already been decided. That's strange. The way you said that, it almost sounds like it was decided from the very beginning. What are you trying to say? Yes, it's clearly unnatural. Everything's progressing as if Kay's guilt was predetermined. Wasn't Kay arrest planned from the start? I see. That's an interesting theory. But I don't have time to indulge in your flights of fancy, you know. Why don't we put an end to this silly conversation? Curses! He's trying to get away! Before that, I must find out if the arrest was lawful. My powers returned. It's still very faint, but I'm beginning to see the path to the truth. Can't let this opportunity slip by. Kay is not the culprit. My, it's a rather bold claim, you know? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's still a negative. I figured, but... This is pretty tense chess music. Please wait, there's still something I want to ask you. I've grown weary of our little I don't know how to say that. I'm not gonna bother. Is T to T a T? Please keep it short, okay? What's the basis for your case? I put it together what you have told me up till now. I cannot help but say that there is no basis for Kay's arrest. Yes, I understand, you see. But you know, it doesn't really matter either way. You can't overturn her arrest. How irresponsible. Do you still claim to be a man of the law? My, there's some harsh words, you know? You know, you're starting to make me a little angry. You see, to be honest, I really can't answer all your questions, you know? That's just the position I'm in, you see? I'm a busy man, you know? He says these things a lot. Yeah, well, I'm not as cool as you, Sivia. Gosh. Aren't you just pretending to be busy? That's cruel, you know? This old chunk of goals has been working like a dog, pretending. Just what do you think that would accomplish? You don't want to talk about the case. Isn't that why you're trying to get away from this place? How sad. Yes, how sad. Do you really suspect little old me? I do suspect you, and I'm confident about it. There was clearly no basis for Kay's arrest. My, have you forgotten? Wasn't there evidence? Not really. The mask, the letter, and the corsage, all were found in the girl's possession. Not to mention, she even confessed. All this serves to prove her crime. That's... Any objections? You see, you have no response. It's true, I have no objections. Although there is one point that bothers me. This man seems awfully familiar with the evidence. To remember everything without missing a beat. That intrigues me. This could be a useful clue. Kay is not the culprit. My, it's a rather bold claim. Still? Okay, so we need to go back through it. Who was the one who made the decision to arrest him? Well, I can't say I remember. Growing old's a terrible thing, you see. My memory's not what it used to be, you know. Perhaps I should use that clue. Don't play dumb with me. Didn't you remember all of the evidence in full detail just now? Stop pretending to be a forgetful old man when things aren't going your way. Now then, who was the one who made the decision to arrest him? I see, you're a sharp one, aren't you? You know, I wish my son could learn from you. Because he's a real idiot. You didn't really need to take time to add the insult there. You could have just ended with the learning from whatever. I'm not interested in your son. Who made the decision for the arrest? You're a bad man, you know. Don't you already know? The one who ordered her arrest. The person right in front of me. I'm certain of it. Ouch. Ouchie. Make it sound like I committed some kind of injustice. But I'm not in that game. Neither is that man. Guess I'll have to clear that up. My honor's at stake here, you see, you know? Very well. I continue to play along with you until you are satisfied. What's most crucial here is how much this man knows about this case. I can get him to reveal that. It's do or die. If I can overcome this, I'll reach the truth. About Kay. The suspect. Regarding Kay. How much do you know about her? She's a suspect in this case. That's all I know, you see? Scouts on. I don't have enough clues to proceed with this line of questioning. Maybe I should try another line of attack. You seem pretty familiar with the case. I'm a wise man, you know. I'm familiar with most things, you see. How many things can I say in one sentence? Or two sentences? Or a whole paragraph? Find out today, you know. I don't think that was very wise of you to arrest Kay in this case. I'm a very busy man. I can end this conversation anytime I want, you know? Don't you forget about that, you see? This would have already been over if you had simply answered my questions. If you give me a proper answer, I won't take any more of your time. I will ask you once again, why are you so familiar with this case? I read the case files, you see? Honestly, it was quite a drag, you know? But it's my job, so what could I do, you see? Because my position, you see? I can't just skip out on it. Well, I had some time to kill, so I read the whole thing, you see? That's strange. Didn't you just say you were very busy? Aren't your faults slowly coming to light now? If you truly wish to protect your position, I would advise you to rescind the arrest order. You really are desperate, you know? That never say die attitude, it touches my heart. But you know, it's unfortunate that all your hard work was for naught. Because we discovered her unconscious body near the crime scene, you see? That's the first time I've heard of Kay's condition when she was found. She was unconscious in the storeroom. That's right! The source of that information is classified, though. This man knows things even I don't know. Does he know the whole story behind this case? This could be a useful clue. Perhaps I should use that clue! Don't you know the whole story? Something you've said feels out of place. You know about things that the crime scene investigation never revealed. Why is that? Just how much of the truth do you know? You're making that forceful face again. You know, it kind of makes me want to do the same, like this. You could never copy me. You really are a persistent one, you know, but I can admire that, you see? I'm gonna punch this man. Just for his stupid vocal quirks. I will take that as a compliment. Can't you give it a rest already? At my age, my body's not as strong as it once was, you know? There's no one else who could be the culprit besides her. She was even given that much evidence to show that she was committed the crime. She was given evidence, you say? That's an odd choice of words. Almost sounds as if she did not possess them under her own will. I see. You really do have a fine eye for the details. As expected of a former prodigy prosecutor. Already found your answer, haven't you? I'm listening, so go ahead and say it. There's no need to hold back. I've finally wrenched open the heavy door to the truth. Now all that remains is to strike the final blow. Kay is not the culprit. My, it's a bold claim. I shall break through this with that clue. Kay was framed. The true culprit is pinning the blame on her. That is my answer. Oh no! Oh, okay. That's a good use of both animations he's been strictly using. He set himself aflame and then cried the fire out. Good. Yeah. You're a clever one. Almost makes me feel bad that your prosecutor's badge was taken away, you know? No. No, I don't. You write that one down just for when this happens? Yes, it's as you say. Checkmate. Logic chest complete! Yet I'm still behind bars. You arrested Kay even when you knew the existence of a true culprit? Don't toy with me. There's no way such an act would be tolerated. You sure are green, you know? That's what a prosecutor is supposed to do. It will all work out fine if we make her guilty. Who would desire such a resolution? If I had to say, maybe the PIC, and also maybe me, you know? When I heard your words just now, I could barely hold back my tears, you know? It was just so splendid, you see, and it burns me up inside. Not the most perfect piece of work, you know, so I can't forgive such youthfulness. Say the truth is important, but you know, once you know the real value truth holds, I wonder if you can still say the same thing. What are you trying to say? When you get to where I am, you can just create your own truths anytime you want. Kay Faraday's the culprit. That was the truth I simply manufactured out of thin air. That's not what truth means. Do I need to, is there a dictionary in here? Actually, there probably is with those books back there. Good, very good. That face, that expression. You were such a desperate one, you see? That's why I really wanted to bully you, you know? You see, even if you knew the truth, simply nothing you can do. That's the real value of truth, so shocking it's to die for, you know? Why won't you pursue this true culprit? How much of the truth do you know? Do you understand now? The truth that you believe in is worthless, you see? Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? Powerless former prosecutor? You. Oh, scary, scary. You know, I guess the friends of a heinous criminal are also quite heinous themselves. Blaze you! And like this, you see, one more person will disappear before me. Ah, here come the waterworks. Tears of mine just won't stop, you know. See you later, alligator. Everything will be decided in today's deliberation. Kay's innocence. I will definitely prove it. Why is Lotta here? Also, look at all of these pretending to be important guys. I'm surprised one of these isn't, like, one we know. At least not that I can tell. No, I can't say I recognize any of them, but the one two to the right looks a little familiar, the one with his hands up. But I think he just reminds me of a completely different character, because the art style is not similar in this game. I mean, old art style. Whatever. But why is Lotta here? 10 members are present. Quorum has been met. From here on out, let the council begin. Today's deliberations shall be about Miles Edgeworth's aptitude and ability as a prosecutor. Let our members discuss this matter with a clear conscience of the goddess of law. How is Courtney in that part of this? I guess she's just a judge. A clear conscience, don't make me laugh. Hello, Mimikyu. Hope you're having a good day. Welcome to stream. Courtney, please give us your report. Never mind, she is here. On April 5th, Prosecutor Edgeworth carried out an illegal investigation and resisted arrest. It was by the two of our members who caught him in the act, myself and Blaze the Best. I thought she was, but I didn't see her, like, on the board. Like, she wasn't sitting down. Unless I just didn't recognize her smaller sprite. Prosecutor Edgeworth disrupted the investigation of attorney Jill Crane's murder. He claimed that the culprit, Kay Faraday, was arrested without sufficient evidence. Even now, his claim remains unchanged. Tell us more about the murder incident. On April 5th, the victim's body was found here in the PIC's meeting room. Regarding the details, I, Sebastian the best prosecutor, will enlighten you. The prosecutor in charge, Sebastian the Best, will explain the rest of the details. Wasn't Francisca in charge? Ahem. The murder happened on the night of April 4th. The victim was one Jill Crane. On the same night, a black market auction was being held in this very meeting room. That's kind of terrifying. To, like, see, like, the blue badger sitting next to this devil guy, and then I forget her name. Like, which of these three is more terrifying? Definitely the first one, I think, because he's staring right at you. Also, where did this picture come from? Oh, the Pink Princess. Thank you. And obviously the blue badger. Of course. And then there's just this guy in the middle. Like, the lesser of three evils right now. Because, you know, the Pink Princess, when she was last revealed, was definitely the evilest character. We have to be out of here in half an hour for one, actually. Yeah, of course. It's not like no one in this room knows. In fact, I'm pretty sure everyone in this room is just part of it. On the same night, a black market auction was being held in this very meeting room. I guess Miss Crane was taking part in the auction. Yep. The murder occurred in the middle of the auction, did it not? When Miss Crane was found, she was dressed like the conductor of the auction. However, based on the fact that the auction continued after the murder occurred, I deduced that Miss Crane could not have been the conductor. You weren't the one who made that deduction. Were you even there? Yes, actually, I guess he was. Sebastian, please show everyone the basis for the arrest of the culprit. You got it, Justine. Kay Faraday was unable to bear the weight of her good conscience. I believe you mean guilty of a guilty conscience. Yep, it was her guilty conscience that drove her to confess the crime. According to her confession on the roof of this building, she made a figure in a red raincoat on the viewing platform. So Crane was wearing a red raincoat. Yes, that is correct. The culprit used the conductor's clothes as a red herring to mislead us. Where's the raincoat? At the time of the murder, Miss Crane was wearing a red raincoat. It was I who discovered the raincoat near this building. You did? I'm sure it was the forensics team who found it. To be more precise, it was the forensics team under Sebastian's orders who discovered it. Yep, I knew it. I thought as much. Literally just had that thought bubble. Do I relate more to Edgeworth? Saying something and then it being confirmed right after? According to the blood analysis, the person in the red raincoat and Miss Crane were the same person. Decisive evidence is the culprit's own confession. She testified she killed her. That's right, the culprit is Kay Faraday. It couldn't have been anybody else but her. Well then, Edgeworth, if you have any objections, let's hear them. Okay, objection. I have no objections. I see. Wait, what? Seems all the fight's going after you after your overnight stay. Objections. I have no objection to your claim that I investigated illegally. I admit to that. However, I object to the claim that Kay is the culprit. Overruled. You already said you had no objections. I will testify Sebastian's investigation was fair and just. Haha, of course it was, Justine. Don't you know that I'm the fairest of them all? Edgeworth, my boy, despite how things may seem, I actually kinda like you. If, and this is just an if, you see, if you were to withdraw your objection, you might be sitting on this side of the bench tomorrow. Wow. I'll ask you one more time, Edgeworth. Do you have any objections? Don't take me for a fool. I advise you to watch what you say. This man is the one who should be watched what he say. Talking about the case, not about a chair. I demand a testimony. By all means, let me hear it. I want to know how the PIC understands this case. A testimony from us, eh? Fine then. That's what it takes to make you happy. Maybe we'll even animate another guy in here. Courtney, give him the materials for the investigation. Sir, but that's... It's the end of the line for him. I'll let him go out in a blaze of glory. Get it? It's a hot take, if ever there was one. If you insist, Mr. Chairman. Here you go, I was just holding these. Why don't we have Courtney give the testimony, since you just spent like 30 minutes talking to me? Alright, let's see. How did they take Kay's memories from me? Now that I think about it. That's a thing I heard, not something that was written down. They even took my pamphlet. Okay, these are all things we saw before. Victim's fingerprints and blood were found on the hood. Odd that they were on the hood. They do have that. I remember what this was. Oh yeah, it was the letter that was inside her coat and was clearly placed there because it has bloodstains on it but did not have a stab through it. I have no objections to that. Mr. Edgeworth? Don't worry, Kay. Just watch from over there. Like, slightly behind me, but to the right. Or to my left? I think she was to the right. Miss Crane went to the black market auction as a customer. We're just going to freely admit that and not worry about it because there's no one here that's actually, like, going to make a fuss over it. What if just one guy in the PIC wasn't in on any of this and was really confused? It's like, wait, we have a black auction here? What? What are you guys talking about? Why would we have something like that here and no one told me? I would have, like, brought strawberry milk for everybody. The red raincoat was one of the items up for auction. We believe that she left her seat after winning the bid for it. But everyone here does know about it. Literally everyone in this room knows about it now. And they're just talking about it so casually. We believe that she left her seat after winning a bid for it. The only exit from the storeroom is the hatch that leads to the viewing platform. Miss Crane went out to the viewing platform, where she was attacked by Kay Faraday. That was how she met her in, and that concludes my summary of the case. The red raincoat was up for auction? Is that a fact? It is quite likely. The red raincoat had been a piece of evidence in the assassination attempt of the president of Xingfa, as you well know. Originally, it should have been stored in an appropriate place. But when I asked about it, I learned that it was missing. And it somehow made its way to the black market auction. Certainly a natural conclusion. Well done, Courtney. Your explanation is as clear as ever. Except for the, like, 5 things that were not clear at all. I am much obliged. Prosecutor Edward, will you concede defeat now? Sorry, but I don't plan on it. I see. I am relieved. Relieved? What does she mean? Come to think of it, the reason for questioning me yesterday remains a mystery. Just what is she thinking? Red auction, left her seat after winning the bid for it. Hold it! Why would Kay do such a thing? We intend to question her about that later. Later? That seems to be your favorite time for interrogations. If the culprit was aware that the customers were required to exit from the hatch, it would have been easy to lie in wait for an ambush. Miss Crane was attacked when she was leaving the hatch. I don't know if I should press it first or just go ahead and do that. Met her in. What do you mean by that? She passed away, or to be more precise, she's dead. I mean, she was murdered. Objection! That candelabra was one of the items in the auction. Therefore, Kay should have not have been able to get her hands on it. Overruled! If she was able to lie in wait for the attack, then she must have known about the storeroom. If she sneaked into the storeroom during the auction, she could have obtained it. Nah, if only we had some way to know for sure where the candelabra was during the entire auction, you know? How about it? There is no such evidence. My apologies. We hope to find that evidence soon. Edgeworth, it's too bad, you know? Seems you won't be able to use this line of attack, you see? The victims encountered the culprit on the top of the roof, and the crime occurred there. According to her reasoning, the murder took place at the viewing platform. But was that really the case? Some piece of evidence must tell the whole story behind it. I should try to look again. Yeah, I already got that. I just didn't know if it was one of those... Is it blood hit by hidden lip, or that? No? Don't you have a problem with that statement just now? Should I have a problem with that statement? Obviously. Because there's no problem at all! In that case, you should have refrained from speaking in the first place. No! I don't think that left a good impression. Fine. I'll look at all the things again and read. Let's see, stab wounds, or modem, key card, victim letter. Missing its left horn. What a fancy looking candle. It's to die for, really. And it would make a killing on the black auction. Sorry, I got distracted by other things. Whoa, look, feel that slowdown. Anyways, let's see. I'm not sure exactly, like, what wants me to point out here. Is it here? At least they'd light up any situation. Maybe the box. I don't know. Like, I feel like just pointing out any of these three things should be enough. Oh no! Why no loot or why? Is it gone? Now, the question isn't where the body was, though, right? No? Oh, Phoenix just doesn't subbed, or mine glitched out, because I don't see it on mine. Not for him, at least. Someone should go fix that or something. Hang on, sorry. Okay, now I have a dog. Hello, dog. And I'm back. Okay. Ow. Yeah, maybe I'm going down the wrong line of... Like, none of these really matter. Victim was a PIC member. Couldn't she have also just left from the meeting room? If she had done so during the auction, then its existence would have been revealed to the public. What? As Miss Hart knew about it, it seems that cat is already out of the bag. The customers were required to enter and exit from the hatch. Miss Crane was simply following protocol. Considering where the murder took place, she must have tried to leave through there. Left chest candelabra head with a burn mark on first victim's hand. I'm sure this is super obvious, and it'll probably be super obvious when we get there, but... There's also blood on the ladder. Is it just the box? Yeah, what does he say again? Room for the crime occurred there. According to resident murder took place at the viewing platform. But is it really the case? Someone evidence must tell the whole story behind it. I should try looking again. Blah blah blah. Is it this one, but instead of the other one? I don't know. This game has the bad habit of... Well, doesn't matter. Yeah, exactly. It's hard to think of, like, what exactly do they want me to say. Other than, like, it's wrong. Nothing popped out either. I guess I'll try the box in the last one. I don't know. And then again, if blood was found on the meeting platforms, it was like, I'm probably overcomplicating it again. I'm sorry, Sivia, who knows the answer. It's probably like, why? Why are you like this? Let's see. Gotta think. The lift goes to the storeroom where all the all the evidence is. That's where the murder was taken, where the murder occurred. That's where this one goes. I already knew that. I just did it. Whoops, not that. I'll try the bloodstain here. Nope. No, he does that during the press. He says, like, couldn't she have just left through the lift? And their protocol is to go up the lift and then go out the hatch. Next time for sure! Yeah, their procedure is to come through the hatch, put on a mask, then go down the lift. And then to leave, they go up the lift, and then up the hatch. Up through the hatch. That way no one knows about their secret meetings. Or at least the public doesn't. Even though now the public should know. But I guess Lada is here, so... they're keeping her quiet for now. Otherwise she definitely would have put that out in the news. It's her big scoop, you know? You see? That's how she met her. How she met her. I don't know what it wants me to say. I'm scared to just constantly yell at things. Could I have a hint? Is there even like a remote hint in these things that I can use? Killers. Like, is the joke I'm being boxed in? I feel like that's not important right now, though. It's not good when you get stuck on the first one. Ow! Dang it! I moved slightly and died. Yeah, when's it gonna be a public black market auction? I don't get, like, why these people would even, like, want these things, really. is it slowing down? Oh yeah, because I'm on this. Let's see. Lotta's photo. Is there anything weird in here? Just after the crime. Okay. After the conductor and the person in the storeroom, one of the sudden started screaming. Is that the one I need to do? I mean, I feel like most of them take care of that, but... no, not victim's letter. Photo. Wait, no, not this one. This one.
Objection!
There we go. Had to look at the picture more clearly. All four of those things were relevant. I have found it to be strange for a while now. Why is Miss Hart here with us? She is an eyewitness to this case. Isn't it only natural for her to be in attendance? Well, we're not in court. Oh, shucks. I reckon I'm more of an ear witness than an eyewitness. Seems that getting the trust of others isn't your strong point, Judge Courtney. Perhaps I simply do not wish to be as tactless as you. It appears you have failed to get a witness to tell you the most vital information. Please take a look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. This was taken by Miss Hart. This photo seems to have been taken in the storeroom, and what of it? According to your reasoning, the incident took place in the viewing platform. However, Miss Hart encountered the incident in the storeroom. That's right, it had taken place just before this photo was taken. Wait, if that's true, then Justine's reasoning... Exactly. Does not hold up. What? Impossible! Miss Hart, allow me to ask you again. You saw the person in the photo with your own eyes, correct? I sure did. I mean, through my camera, I guess. I seen him as plain as day with my own 2 eyes. 3 eyes if you count my camera. And what did you think at the time? I figured my music was too upbeat for this whole situation, but I'm gonna put it in here anyway. I was about to get me a big scoop, you know? You see? I guess that makes sense. That's not what I meant. What did you think of that person? Huh? Well, I reckon she'd help me bring home the bacon. Are you mocking me? Aw, shucks. Don't make that scary old face. It was just a harmless little joke. Person in the red raincoat? I reckon they were the culprit. I hope you understand now. The crime occurred in the... Overruled! Prosecutor Edgeworth, I cannot understand your argument if you do not say it out loud. If you had simply asked, I would have been more willing to explain. Explain what? The sounds Miss Hart heard were not necessarily related to the case. Objection! That is impossible. Enough of your excuses. Was the voice that Miss Hart heard really that of Miss Crane? Such a shady conversation must have had something to do with the case. What did her voice sound like? Her voice? Well, beats me. How was I supposed to know? They were both using voice changers. Yes, the voice Miss Hart heard had been altered by a device. We must therefore question whether or not they have any bearing on this case. I must question whether or not that's relevant to anything I said, but okay. Objection. You need not object just because you wish to sigh. He does do that a lot. Judge Courtney, it seems I have greatly overestimated you. No. Courtney's quite amazing, you see. You claim that the sounds Miss Hart heard have no bearing on this case. Even if they do not, it does not change the fact that the crime took place in the storeroom. At the very least, the crime must have occurred before the victim went up to the rooftop. The reason being... This evidence proves the crime occurred before the victim went up to the viewing platform. The blood obviously bears.
Take that!
At first, I thought the person in the red raincoat was the culprit. Well, Miss Hart testimony certainly made it sound that way. Precisely, it was because she saw that person's hand was covered in blood. Anyone who heard the testimony would have arrived at the same conclusion. The person in the red raincoat was the culprit, and the blood on their hand was the victim's. However, if the person in the red raincoat was the victim, then the situation changes completely. Since blood can be seen in this photo, it must have been taken after the crime occurred. It seems we have been under the wrong impression in regards to the victim's condition. This photo shows the true condition of the victim, and the victim Uh... The victim struck the culprit. That was probably when her hand got covered in blood. Prosecutor Edward, all the blood we found at the crime scene belonged to the victim. Your reasoning doesn't seem to hold up. Dang it. I wasn't sure on that one. Miss Hart heard the sounds in the storeroom. In that case, the blood on the hands must mean... Indeed, there's only one answer. In other words, ow. What was that? The victim was definitely attacked in the store. Immediately afterward, the victim was seen with blood on her hand. That must mean the victim was still alive even after she was attacked. The blood on her hand must have come from her own wound. No way! Are you saying that she died from a hand injury? No, what? No, that's not the case. I suspect she just held her hand against the wound, as most people would if they get stabbed. It can't be seen in the photo, but at this moment she must have already suffered a fatal wound. Oh, if that's true, then that changes a lot of things, you know? Seems you understand. This refutes the allegations against Kay. Kay encountered the victim after this picture was taken. I believe at this point in time, the victim was already on the verge of death. It's likely Kay just happened to be present when the victim reached the end of her strength. That does make a lot of sense since she has the memory of seeing them on the ground. That is quite the coincidence. Indeed, I can only say that she was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Stop that. Prosecutor Edgeworth, it seems you've forgotten a crucial fact. Ah, you mean that, right? You must pretend that he hasn't noticed it, you see? What did you say? Are you implying that I forgot something? Which I probably did. Courtney, I think it's about time you gave him his last rites. Hey, Pops, Justine's with me, you know. Don't order her around like that. You know, even though you're my son, you're so embarrassing. I'm not embarrassing! I'm sorry, but you're both rather embarrassing. Ouch. He has that look on his face as if he's thinking that they're both rather embarrassing. I have to agree. Justine, give Mr. Edworth his, Very well. I shall give him his last rites. We're doing this again, I see. Contradiction. When the body was found, there were 3 wounds in Miss Crane's chest. I'm sure you're well aware that the kind of wound these were, right? Yes, she was stabbed in the heart with 3-pronged candelabra. Is there any person who could survive such an injury? Please take a close look at the autopsy report. Can you still say the same thing after reading it? Well done, Justine! With this, Mr. Edworth will... I will offer a rebuttal, of course. Why would you do that? Didn't you hear what Justine said? Of course I did. And I still plan to object to it. It's not fair! You're always opposing me at every turn! It was never my intention to oppose you. Huh? Really? Simply not worth my time. I see! So that's how it is. Yep, after all, I'm... That's enough, you know. You're embarrassing your father, you see. Huh? What do you mean, Pops? Yes, her name is Justine Courtney. That's her last name, is Courtney. So, you know, you're not wrong. That is her full name. Yeah, most people seem to call her Courtney. I think Sebastian's the only one that doesn't. Which, you know, probably because he really likes her. Uh-huh. Hold it! So the cause of death was a stab wound to the heart. So she was stabbed to the heart, and someone's to blame, is that correct? Yes, the candelabra appears to right in the heart. This was Dr. Young's medical opinion. It must be the truth. The coroner's medical opinion follows my own opinion. Therefore, it's perfect. I certainly cannot ignore the autopsy reports, however... Hey! Don't ignore my opinion! However, if the cause of death was a stab wound to the victim's chest, wouldn't it contradict that piece of evidence? Oh, he's totally ignoring me. Justine, say something. Yes, I will not allow you to ignore my reasoning. Hey, wait a second. Am I your reasoning? I mean... Like, my thought is she was stabbed... She was stabbed in this outfit, right? There's only one stab wound, right? Stab wounds to the left chest of the candelabra. Wounds post-mortem, burn mark on the victim's hand. Okay. Yeah, she was stabbed in this outfit, not the red coat. So that would be... That's that one, just in case. At the very least, we cannot be certain that she died instantly. Even if she had just a little bit of life left, I doubt she would have held on for long. Can people survive after being stabbed in the chest? In some cases, maybe they can. Although, maybe they can't. Huh. So in the end, which one is it? No such human exists. If you think they do, then first... Can Amnesia, Kay, and Sebastian just keep talking? That's pretty adorable. Like, they're both just spouting nonsense. According to the autopsy report, the stab wounds to the left chest caused the fatality. Correct. The autopsy report itself is the foundation for my reasoning. In other words, I just have to shatter that foundation, right? I don't find that amusing at all. I look forward to seeing you try. Nevertheless, please take a close look at these autopsy reports before you make a review. Show me that your reasoning is not just mere conjecture. Very well. Mr. Edward. We'll be fine, Kay. There's nothing for you to worry about. Evidence that the victim was still alive after the incident. If I can just find that, Kay will be... Okay, I don't think it's the autopsy report. I think it would be... the red raincoat, right? Like, we've established that she's in this picture, wearing the coat, so she couldn't have been wearing this when she was stabbed.
Objection!
Yes, good. Phew. Chairman DeBest, do you know what this is? Seems to be a red raincoat. How about it, Courtney? The victim, Miss Crane, was wearing this earlier. Prosecutor Edgeworth, must I repeat my explanation to you over again? I suppose it just might come to that. Judge Courtney, answer me this. This red raincoat was stained with blood. Do you happen to remember where specifically those bloodstains were located? Of course I do. They were on the hood. Oh no, it can't be. What does this mean? Judge Courtney, were there any other bloodstains besides the one on the hood? None. Were detected. Don't you think it's strange? The victim died from a stab wound to the chest. In that case, there should have been bloodstains on the front of the raincoat. Also, there should have been holes. However, the only blood they found was on the hood. This is a huge contradiction. The wound on the victim's head is no ordinary wound. After all, the victim sustained this wound before she was stabbed in the chest. It does appear that way, doesn't it? The victim first suffered the head wound. If she had already been stabbed in the chest, the raincoat would have been stained with blood. Therefore, it is unthinkable that her chest was stabbed before she suffered the head wound. So, the order of the wound should be first the head, followed by the chest. Didn't the autopsy say that it was post-mortem? Like after she was dead? However, does that really change the situation? With this, a contradiction is born, one that overturns all of our assumptions up until now. Is the change really that great? I look forward to hearing it. Well then, this contradiction, why don't you show it to me? With evidence. Which piece of evidence shows the contradiction that arises from the order of wounds? I mean, I guess the autopsy report. Let me double check my things just in case. I'm losing it this time. Now I guess it has to be the autopsy.
Take that!
This is the autopsy report written by Dr. Young. According to this, the head wound was post-mortem. But that's not what the raincoat shows. Exactly. It's the exact opposite. Bailiff, hurry and summon Dr. Bonnie Young at once. Till we hear what she has to say, we cannot close the curtains on this case. Yes, ma'am. Understood. Dr. Young is a busy person. It will take some time for her to arrive. Would you like some moldy bread while you wait? No thanks. I had my fill at the prison. But I will be right back. 1 second, because I have been out of water for a bit now. Joe, I hope you're enjoying this stream even as I knock my head against wood and hope that something arises out of it. I'll be right back. I totally just remembered as, like, I sat down that I have a be right back thing now. I should have just used that. Oh well. Would have been keeping you from seeing Courtney's face though. Also, I know it's probably not that, but it kind of looks like the little thing by her head, by the chair. Looks like a knife and fork, or not a fork, but a spoon. I'm used to saying knife and fork. It's never knife and spoon. I'm definitely not a doctor, but... Dang it, Greninja, I'm a mage, not a doctor. Wait, there's something wrong about what Anyway. Take some time for her to arrive. Approximately like 5 minutes of really wasting time getting water. In the meantime, let's try viewing the case from another angle. There's something that's been on my mind. One of the key figures in this case. The conductor. We still don't know who that person is. You should, but... Now that you mention it, even after your investigation, we have no idea who it is. You're fine, Greninja. That was a bad reference on my part, so don't worry. The conductor has come up time and time again during this hearing. However, at this point in time, their identity remains a mystery. Can you guess who? It's a mystery. How about it? Do you have any ideas? I'm still not sure at the moment, however. There's someone I have in mind. A certain individual involved in this case who might know something about it. Who's that? Blaze the Best. I demand your testimony. What? My dad? Don't say such stupid thing. Why would you suspect Pops? Are you trying to cast suspicion towards the chairman of the PIC? Do you understand what that means? Status and prestige mean nothing before the truth. That man is trying to pin the crime on Kay. The evidence that was in Kay's possession, the ticket stub, the mask, the corsage. These items did not come into her possession out of her own volition. By some method, that man purposely planted them on her personage. It is hard to believe such a sudden accusation, but I'll ask just in case. Why would he do that? Obviously, to direct suspicion towards Kay. I succeeded in drawing out those words from him earlier. Mr. Chairman, your response? No idea what he's talking about. Are you too shocked to speak? And what of it? Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said, what of it? Say that you drew out some words from me, but you don't have a shred of proof, you know? No one else heard it but you. It doesn't work like that, you see? Even though I've more or less just confirmed it, but we're gonna ignore that. Or do you have something else? You know, some kind of basis for your argument? His confidence. He also showed it at the cell. Prosecutor Edgeworth, I would like you to explain once more. I trust we have your permission, Mr. Chairman. But of course, I'm pretty interested in this matter myself, you know? I'd like to know what part of me seems like a criminal to Edgeworth, other than that I bully my son. There's no one as honest as I am, you see. How could he say that with a straight face? Let's start from the top. The fact that the auction was held in this room is a cause for suspicion. This is the PIC meeting room. I imagine it'd be difficult for non-members to enter. That's why all the members have a key card, you know? Don't steal my things, son. You may not have shortened it, but I could hear it. Because really can't say it another way. But don't steal my catchphrase, or I'll have to poke your head, you see? I think we can assume that multiple auctions have been held here before. Therefore, suspecting a member of the PIC would be... the best! Yes, because the conductor had to have been a PIC member. Wait, no! What was that all about? What do I do, Pops? I just helped the enemy! Sebastian really is an idiot, you know? But you see, Edgeworth, I'm not the only one with access, you know? Indeed, there are 11 members in the PIC. Even if we rule out the victim, Miss Crane, there are still 10 potential suspects. Don't look at us! It's not me! Oh, but it couldn't be the chairman, right? I don't know who it is, but whoever it is should just come forward. Yeah, everyone just calm down, you know. No need to get so heated up. Edgeworth, is that all you got? Where's the evidence to suspect me? Oh, so you've fallen silent. But you've gone too far, you see? I won't forgive you anymore. It's too late for regrets, you know? I'm a very important man, you see. Former chief prosecutor and chairman of the PIC. That's me, you see? It's fine if you're not prepared to face the fire, you know? Cause you see... How many of those things does he just have in his pocket? Either way, it won't make any difference. Oh jeez, that is a creepy stare. Cause I'm gonna bully you. You've been rambling on for quite a while about the most trivial details, you know? Like the location of the murder, the order of the wounds, and what else was there? Just doesn't matter, you know? Cause you see, none of that means anything, you know? Think about it. We've got the suspect herself saying she killed the victim. That's all that matters, you see? She'll even get a lighter sentence with her confession, you know? Now then, if there's any contradictions, be my guest. How could that be considered testimony? There must be a contradiction somewhere. That person. He's very important, isn't he? Mr. Edgeworth, it's alright. Let's just give up. Surely I must have killed her. I can even remember it. Don't be tied down by your muddled memories. If you want to believe in something, believe in your own innocence. Believe in me, who believes in you! I'm sure that's not what he actually said, and they just put it in here in the translation. But good. But I don't know you. My opponent is the PIC chairman. Taking him down won't be easy. However, he has underestimated me. I can take advantage of that. What? Why the sudden lull? Blah blah blah, location of the murder, order that wounds, and what else was there? I don't know. What else was there, actually? The autopsy report, and the questions about the conductor. Oh, 'cause I'm gonna bully, yeah, it's the best testimony. Were you even listening? Talk is cheap, you know? I was listening, you see? But I didn't think much of it, you know? Okay, that's 3. I think 3 is the highest number we've got so far, you know? You didn't think much of it, even after I brought it up all those issues? Perhaps your judgment needs to be questioned, rather than my ability as a prosecutor. That's a good one, Edgeworth. But you see... just doesn't matter, you know?
Hold it!
How can you say it doesn't matter? Are you trying to suppress the truth? Well, you see, it simply doesn't matter as much as you say it does, you know? You see, Edgeworth, you're only saying it matters to avoid the real issue here. Okay. Xavier was correct, there's a lot of throwaway presses here.
Hold it!
May be true she confessed, however, that does not mean it's the truth. She is suffering from memory loss, so we must question the credibility of her testimony.
Objection!
Wow. Should I have been giving him a more gravelly voice? Objection! Even if you say that, you know it won't solve anything. Nah. This sounds like a bad Cell impression. And he's not really that level. What good would come to deny a confession? Sounds like nonsense to me. Wanna try asking her again? I think she'll just say that she's the murderer again, though. Very well, let's try asking her again, one last time. I'd like to hear from Kay herself. whether or not she is the culprit. Huh? But I just said it. Will that be alright? This goes poorly, it'd be quite unfavorable for you. I do not mind. However, I shall ask Kay the question myself. I'm moved to tears, you know. Oh, how touching, you know, how very touching. Fine then, I'll let you ask her. However, I have one condition. If all this proves to be a waste of time... then that'll be the end of it. How's that sound? The end of the hearing? Yes, seems you can be smart once in a while, Sebastian. Shut up. Only we're allowed to bully Sebastian. In other words, you see if she confesses again. K-Fire to be found. Beyond a shadow of a doubt. Guilty. Yep, fine idea. Guilty? Beyond a shadow of a doubt? Yeah, that's right. That's the power I have. That's harsh. But either way, if I do nothing, she'll be declared guilty. K! Yes, I know that I'm asking of you unreasonable. What I'm asking of you is unreasonable, but please, I want you to answer me. It doesn't matter how teeny it is. Do you remember anything? Anything that would prove your innocence? Why? Why would you go that far for me? Oh, she didn't answer right. Guilty. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm too scared to remember. Because I might have done something even worse. If that were the case, I would only make things worse for you, Mr. Edgeworth. Kay Faraday must have been a despicable criminal. Someone who betrayed your trust. What? No. Don't worry. We've only known each other for a short while. But I know you very well. Yeah, here comes the uplifting music. I'd even say I know you better than yourself now that you've lost your memories. If you cannot possibly be the culprit, your true identity is... I mean, it's gotta be the badge, right? It's gotta be...
Take that!
The great thief, Yatagarasu! The Yatagarasu is a noble thief who would never stoop to murder. Yeah, or the ninja mask. It's like throw in the Jammin' Ninja mask. Like, you're the Jammin' Ninja, rival of the Steel Samurai, and... oh, wait. That's not right. No, it's useless. After all, no matter what, that memory still remains. This image is stuck in my head. I just can't get rid of it. That means I must have...
Hold it!
Hold it! There's no clear evidence to prove that you're the culprit, besides your own confession. Remember what I said. You must believe in yourself. Or perhaps you cannot trust my words. No, that's not it. It's because you are trying to save someone like me. You've already lost so much, all for my sake. I can't bear it anymore. Please, just give up. I see now. I thought it was strange. The reason you were acting like you wanted to be found guilty was because you were concerned about me. That is just like you, Kay. It's because you're a good person, Mr. Edgeworth. Unfortunately, I may fall short of your expectations. I'm not trying to be a good person. No matter how much you may want me to give up, I'll keep trying to save you. That is the nature of who I am. Whether or not it's a burden for you is none of my concern. Ouch. Kay, believe in yourself once more. You are a noble, great thief. What you should be doubting is your memory of committing the murder. That is my wish, above all else. Please. Don't do the animation again, please. Dang it. Kay! What is it? Did you remember something? If she remembered something now, it'd be like a bad movie. Bull. What? Bull? Prosecutor Edward, please ask her to clarify. Bull what? Okay, what do you mean by bull? I remember now. What it is I am about. The person with the red raincoat had it with her. The stuffed bull doll. I'm certain of it. Is that true? Is that true, defendant? Hey, don't interrupt me. Yes, Your Honor. The court hereby accepts the defendant's statement as a new piece of testimony. Also, she called me Your Honor. Oh. Objection! Quit messing around, Courtney. A testimony like that cannot be accepted, you know? Your objection has been noted, sir. However, this is my courtroom. Testimony about the victim's belongings has been lacking up until now. Objection! Nevertheless, you know her vague memories cannot be trusted, you know? Her memories are vague. That would be bad for us as well. Didn't you say this earlier yourself, Mr. Chairman? Since we have the suspect's confession, we don't need to worry about the trivial details. If we decide to doubt her memories, then we must also doubt her confession, which is the main foundation of our case. Are you willing to do that, sir? Ah, you're right. Well, never mind then. I shall leave it to you. Thank you very much. We did it! It was a touch and go for a while there, though. However, those words of Judge Courtney just now... It almost feels as if she is on our side. This definitely has the same feeling of when Edgeworth starts harassing the suspect with Phoenix. You know, for the first time. Which was a great moment. And now Edgeworth's on the other side, which is also great. Prosecutor Edgeworth, do you know anything about this stuffed animal? The stuffed animal case spoke of must have been this, which I just have a picture of, because shut up. We found it in the store. It is believed to be one of the items for the auction. This is the story of a bull who tried to Zing-Fa the whole world. I mean, what? Huh? Do you know something about it, Justine? No, it's just a bit different from what I imagined. Indeed, it's certainly not what I would have expected for the victim to be carrying. Let's examine every suspicious-looking nook and cranny of this little stuffed animal. I mean, it had to be in the hole, right? I mean, ear hole. Then again, I kind of want to know, like, can we just look at its face? No, of course not. The left horn is missing. There's a hole in the stuffed animal. Seems this hole is where the horn is inserted into. I guess the head isn't stuffed with cotton. I wonder what's inside. Perhaps I should examine the other side. So this horn comes out? The right horn seems to be fine, but the entire balance feels a bit off. This horn, it looks like you can move it. What? Bzzz, bzzz. What was that buzzing sound? It seems this toy is equipped with a recording device. Bzzz, bzzz. And I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. Silence, huh? I've been waiting for my chance to get revenge all this time. Ah! Is this the moment of the murder? Who could have recorded something like this? Stuffed animal data updated in my organizer. This is... There ain't no doubt about it. This is what I heard. Overruled. We cannot verify where these voices were recorded. It's also possible they aren't related to the case at all. If only we had some video as well. That's hogwash. I'm telling you, that right there is the conversation I heard. Victim was holding on to it, right? I reckon it must have been recorded when she got attacked. That certainly is a possibility. However, your testimony alone is insufficient. I require something a little more credibility. Again, her words. Almost sounds as if she's trying to give me advice. Judge Courtney, there's no mistake that those voices were from the incident. Please recall the audio that was recorded by the stuffed animal. I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. If we compare this part of the recording with a certain piece of evidence, we can prove it. Yeah, I'm thinking the burn on hand, but I'm making sure just in case. But the autopsy report did say she had a burn on the back of her hand. Okay, no, I don't think anything else really goes with it, especially this. Let's see.
Take that!
The autopsy report, and exactly what part of the autopsy report shows this. This part shows that the recording took place during the moment of the crime. I guess so.
Take that!
If I remember clearly what that voice said, you can't hide that burn from me. On the victim's hand, there was a burn mark. Indeed, just happened to match up, you see, but what of it? According to Kay's testimony, the victim had been holding a stuffed animal, and it just happened to be recorded a characteristic of the victim, namely, the burn. That's just a coincidence. I mean, it could happen, right? Overruled! Overruled. I do not think so. It is hard to believe that all of this is simply a coincidence. The voices in the stuffed animal were most likely recorded during the incident. One of these voices must belong to the true culprit. From what we've heard, it must have been the one who was doing most of the talking. But what's the point? In the end, we still can't tell their gender or identity, you know? Hello, Slash, how's it going? Hope you're having a good day. Indeed, because they had been using voice changers, it can't be helped. It seems the situation has become quite clear. The conversation Miss Hart overheard was between the culprit and Miss Crane. That's what I've been telling you from the start. Gosh. No one ever listened to me, even when I tell the truth. And from this we will understand a new fact. Please enlighten us, then. I trust you have no objections, Mr. Chairman. Do what you want. According to Miss Hart's testimony, just before the incident, 2 people came up from the auction hall using the lift. It must have been the conductor and one of the auction guests. They probably went there to settle payment after winning a bid. And then, it was there the crime was carried out. Since the auction continued after the crime took place, we are led to a single truth. New fact that we've arrived at. The culprit is Jill Crane. She killed herself! Of course! Since the conductor was the only one who could keep the auction going, we can conclude the deceased victim could not have been the conductor. Justine, please be quiet here, okay? Good boy. If the conductor was not the victim, then they must have been the culprit. Overruled. Please wait. That alone is insufficient. Of course. Even though I do not intend to rely upon the process of elimination. Certain traces left at the crime scene led me to believe the culprit is the conductor. Well then, please show it to us. What were the traces left at the crime scene that led me to deduce the culprit to the conductor? The box? Like, the box was locked up, but I don't know if that's what they want. Ugh. I hate the slight slowdown, but there's nothing I can do about it. Civia definitely helped get it better, but... The ticket stub, of course! Took a ticket right down to the underworld. I guess it's the box.
Take that!
Nope, he's not the box. Even you don't understand. Everyone's gonna be things are blah 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 blah. Yes, I will show you the evidence right now. Traces at the crime scene led me to deduce the culprit is the conductor. Left at the crime scene.
Take that!
It was not that, Flame. Okay. I thought it wasn't that because it's not at the crime scene. Unless I'm just crazy. Let's see. Is it the lift block? I don't know.
Take that!
Wow. I think there are people besides my idiot son who understand, you know? Oof. It could be anything that was left at the thing. Like, there's too many things. It's okay, it has to be the conductor. I need to stop being a dummy. Which is difficult, because that's what I am. Not enough health. I should be at 100%, dang it. I should be perfect. I should be the best. If I'm not the best, then who am I, Shinosuke? Gosh. Let's see. Press the K. Ouch. There's only like one other thing. Is it just the autopsy of Ford, I guess? Whoa, feel that slug down. Hang on, I'm doing something very important. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Something left at the thing. Deduce the culprit is the conductor. Yes, very important. Each one of them was wearing a mask. It's a videotape of them committing the crime, obviously, because that giant statue has a camera in it. Could it be the autopsy report again? They usually don't have that, have a piece of evidence come up that much. The conductor had a huge brown beard. Like, it is weird that he could hide that in a mask. This one? Okay, what's this one? The culprit purposely left a large amount of blood in the meeting room. In doing so, we were led to believe that the meeting room had been the scene of the crime. It was a ruse by the true culprit to hide the blood that had fallen from the storeroom. So we wouldn't find out about the existence of a black market auction, correct? Indeed. If the culprit had been unrelated to the auction, there would have been no need for such a thing. Ergo, the culprit could only have been the conductor. Sorry. Well then, do you have any ideas to who the conductor might possibly be? The auction hall is the PIC meeting room, and furthermore, there is a storeroom above it. The conductor must have been, at the very least, a member of the PIC. So, in other words, you suspect me, I take it. Don't even need to, like, raise my picture up to the screen or anything. I know you're gonna say me, I'm the only one on here. Isn't it natural to suspect you, the one with the most authority in the PIC?
Objection.
Yeah, objection. You're quite capable. I'll give you that much, at least. But you know, like I said before, you're far too naive. You have nothing, you know? There's no evidence that proves I am the culprit, you see? If, by some chance, you have some evidence, then why don't you present it? Ugh. Do I have evidence that Blaze is the culprit? Not really. I don't have it. Blaze himself has suggested that he is the criminal. He's been showing that strange self-confidence for a while now. He knows that there is not a single piece of evidence left behind to incriminate him. Haha! If you play with fire, you're gonna get burned, Edgeworth. Just kidding, I always wanted to say that, you know. Weird how my eyes get wet even when I don't cry. I think there's something wrong with my glasses. Well then, Courtney. Howdy. I reckon. I just remembered something too. But what? You lost your memories? Thanks, Sebastian. No, that ain't it. Something just popped in my head right now. You know how I am. You see me in like 2 games or something. Very well then, please tell us. Objection, Courtney. Could you tell me what you are doing? Prosecutor Edgeworth will not give up until we have destroyed every last possibility. I'm destroying every possibility, so that he will never oppose us again. Yeah, okay, that checks out. Justine! I don't really know what's going on, but well said! Pops, I'm gonna help too. After all, he's the one who's wrong. Fine then. Let's hear what she has to say.
Well then, Miss Hart, please proceed.
Sure thing. Just leave it to me. Please make sure you only tell the truth. Ain't that a matter of course. I'm a bona fide journalist of justice, you know? Somehow I feel uneasy. Almost as if I've heard this before. Y'all saying the culprit was the conductor, right? That means the victim was a customer. Now, here's where it gets mighty strange. You see, there were 11 people at the auction. When the auction continued after the incident, I went straight on over and snuck a peek down below. You don't mean... That's exactly what I mean. All 11 people were still there, present and accounted for. What?
Are you sure about that?
Sure, I'm sure. I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
So it started with 11 people, and there were still 11 people after the murder. Was it a ghost?
You know, Sebastian, normally a prosecutor would call that a contradiction, you know, not a ghost. Well, you'd be surprised. One time the contradiction was a ghost. Well, let's not talk about that. But were there actually no change? There were really no changes to the auction at all?
Really, I'm telling you. Auction just went on like normal. But there was one itty-bitty thing, though.
What is it?
You know those hammers you always see at the auction? Like the one the lady is using over there? Please don't... An auction gavel, perhaps? Yep, that's the one. All of a sudden, I couldn't hear the sound no more. It'd been banging away just prior to it.
The sound of the gavel? Does that have anything to do with the case?
Yes. If Miss Hart's testimony is the truth, then this matter was taking a grave turn. Literally, as in someone died. But as the victim was neither a conductor or nor the customer, the very foundation of the Prosecutor Edward's reasoning would collapse.
Well...
Justice prevails, as they say. I hope you've learned your lesson, Mr. Edward. Mr. Edward, there really is nothing we can do.
It's not over yet. Some mysteries still remain. I have to think. If I don't, then Kay will be... Did you get the answer you wanted this time? Well then, deal's a deal.
Hold it. Please wait, Mr. Chairman. I believe it's still too early to make a judgment. There are still a few mysteries left in this case. Until we have solved them all, we cannot call this a complete victory. Isn't that right, Prosecutor Edward? I was expecting you to shout. Hold it. Like you always do.
Yes, I mean I was going to, but once again you interrupted me. Of course. Once again, Judge Courtney has come to my aid. Well then, what is it? What sort of mysteries are left?
Well, of course, there's the contradiction in the autopsy report.
That kind of thing.
Hey, I brought her in, you know, conveniently. I go, none of these guys are saying anything. What's wrong? Why are we suddenly called here? If someone suddenly gets sick, I'll begin preparing a compressed, ouch.
What did you call me here for? Did something happen?
Dr. Young, Miss Jensen, you have my gratitude for taking trouble to come here. This won't take long, so please relax.
Tell me what blazes is going on.
Of course, we called you here because something came up.
Judge Courtney, just what are you planning?
Don't interrupt me with your thoughts, Edgeworth. I can hear those, you know. Bonnie Young, under the divine rule of law, please answer truthfully. There were no mistakes in your autopsy report, correct? Granny would never make a mistake. That's certainly strange. Huh? What's strange? This court has found an error in Dr. Young's autopsy report. Dr. Young, please tell the truth. Did you falsify the autopsy report? That's terrible! How can you accuse her of that?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Why would I do such a thing in the first place?
To protect the true culprit, of course.
What you talking about? I would never do such a thing. Let's get out of here.
How strange. In that case, why would there be an error in the autopsy report, I wonder? Prosecutor Edgeworth. What do you think? Oh, I expected you to press into a statement like you normally do. Am I stealing your job? Should I be a prosecutor instead? You could be the judge. Why is she taking control of the situation, trying to help me? I don't know what her goal is, but I must play along. If the autopsy report you gave Sebastian had been authentic, then the error should not have been there.
Hey, wait a minute, I didn't do anything!
That is what we will figure out from this point on. Firstly,
Don't ignore me!
Dr. Young, I'd like to hear your testimony.
Why do you want to hear his testimony? It would be pointless.
I will be the one to decide whether or not it's pointless.
There are patients waiting for us. But Granny, ow! Ow. Anyways, we don't have time for this.
Is there any way I could convince you? This is of utmost importance.
Mr. Miles Edgeworth, Granny says she'll testify. So please, try to finish this quickly. If we don't return soon, there will be people in terrible suffering.
And yet you were just lollygagging about the viewing platform earlier. I promise you, this won't take long. Only if she tells me the truth, of course. I like that both of them are there. That's a nice addition. I don't think we've ever seen double eyes before on that scene.
There are no mistakes in Granny's autopsy reports. I've been working with the corpses longer than you've been alive. There's no way I'd make a mistake in writing the autopsy report. Ow! Why did you hit me? I'm just repeating what you said. I got nothing to gain from falsifying the autopsy report. Is what she says. See? There's nothing strange at all.
Yes, that's right. You know, there's no way she would falsify it, you see.
Under the name of the goddess of law, do you swear that this testimony is the truth? Of course! Granny would never tell a lie.
We weren't asking Dr. Young. We do not need to hear from a third party.
But I'm the translator! I'm on Granny's side! If you raise an objection to my testimony, you'd best be prepared yourself, you ex-prosecutor.
I will definitely expose the contradiction in the autopsy report. Oh, that's extra creepy. On Sapphire, because she has like a different format for the emotes, the single eye emote is red instead of blue. That's a little creepy. Oh, they're red on the chat thing too. Yep, it's the Sharingan, at least when you're on mobile. Since I assume that's what those run off of. Weird that she hits her here. She's so sad about it, like, oh man, I got hit again. Of a Zelda switch? Don't shoot it, please. I don't think there's a bow emote, is there? Oh, dang it, there is! Oh, but they flip it, so you'd have to shoot two of them. She is kind of adorable. I'm sorry I can't give her a better voice. As it's just one of my default girl voices, huh? Yeah, of course they have bowling, but they don't have soup. Or soda. The victim wore this raincoat after suffering the blow to a head, and yet there was not a single drop of blood on the front of the raincoat. Therefore, it is impossible for the head wound to have been post-mortem.
Well... ouch! Why? I don't need you to tell me that. That's what I wrote down from the very beginning.
Objection. The autopsy report says the head wound was post-mortem. That's completely different.
Well, why? Yeah. I relayed to Karen when I put down the autopsy report. After that, it was none of my beeswax.
Relayed to Karen. Please elaborate on that.
I relayed everything to Karen. After that, it was none of my beeswax.
she the bad guy?
Let's press this one. I would like to verify once again what you saw when you examined the body.
Like we said- Ow! Why? Oh, well, about that. He was done in by the thump on her noggin.
Dr. Young, do you know when that happened?
Before she died, of course. The wounds on her chest were post-mortem. That's what I relayed to Karen. That's what it should have been written in the report.
That's what you relayed to her, eh? I'm finally beginning to see the truth. Cup with straw, it's soda on mobile, but that's not a soda. That's clearly water. Sprite, whatever. Who drinks water with— I drink water with a straw! I do in like every stream. I mean, I have a specific cup for it, but... It's like, yeah, I'm definitely drinking water exclusively with a straw. It's just easier, Mimikyu. I guess I just give her the autopsy report, right?
Objection!
Well, I guess not. No, okay. Usually the music cuts out sooner than that. Dr. Young, please confirm what this autopsy report says with your own eyes.
I'll read it for you. Ow! Ow! This autopsy report wasn't written by me.
What? What do you mean?
Ow, stop it. Huh? What? Who hit me? I don't know. Ows! But Granny, I can't say that.
Miss Jensen, if you are trying to keep the truth in the dark, then... in place of the goddess of law, I shall hear your confession. Judge Courtney is talking Dr. Young in private. What? Is that true? Understood. I shall convey your words to everyone else, Dr. Young. I properly relayed the autopsy report orally to that child. It seems my granddaughter must have mucked it up when she was writing it down. Wow, she mimicked her voice perfectly, even though she didn't. There was no need for her to go that far, though, but it was impressive. She'd be a great actor. She could probably be the Pink Princess or something. In other words, the contents of the autopsy report had been falsified. By your hand, Miss Jensen.
Oh, I... With that, we've proven that the wound on her head came first, followed by her chest wound.
Well, I didn't think she would, so I didn't bother. Miss Jensen, why did you falsify the autopsy report? Hold on a second. She never said she falsified it, you know. Yes, she did, just now. She just made a teeny mistake when she wrote it down. Post-mortem and ante-mortem sound kind of similar, you know. They are completely opposites. That is the very definition of falsification.
Miss Jensen, why would you lie? Okay, ow! I want you to tell me too. Why would you do something like that?
Granny, but I... Because you falsified the autopsy report, Kay fell under suspicion. Tell me why you did it.
I can't say. I just can't say it.
Not I don't want to say, but I can't say. You're all a bunch of bullies, you know. Don't you like that? Ganging up on this poor girl who loves her grandmother so. She's totally unrelated to this. I think we can forgive her for one teeny mistake. Objection! That won't do. Aren't you the one with the most to lose if she testifies? Huh? What do you say?
You see, as a former prosecutor, you'll have to speak a little more clearly, you know? Very well, as you wish, I shall answer clearly. If, you know, really can stop slurring his words. Miss Jensen played an essential role in this case. She was the victim. She's been dead this whole time. Sebastian was right. They're all ghosts. Miss Jensen falsified the autopsy report in order to assist the true culprit. Ouch! Aha, the girl is an accomplice? What's your basis for that claim? It was impossible for a single person to commit this crime in the first place. The crime could not have been committed without at least 2 people, namely because the victim couldn't have been moved, number of people wouldn't match, the report couldn't have been faked. Yeah, plot twist, Sebastian's the only sane one. He sees dead people, and he knows they're there. If the conductor was the culprit and one of the auction guests was the victim, it would contradict the witness's testimony that there were 11 people after the incident. What now? You got a problem with my testimony? Quite the opposite. Not at all. Rather, it is because I believe your testimony that an accomplice must exist. So you still won't admit your reasoning's wrong? Objection. Up till now, we had not even considered the possibility of an accomplice. However, if there had been an accomplice, it changes the entire story completely. If the accomplice took the murder auction guest place, then the number of people remains 11. Oh, I see now. So that's what you're thinking. Didn't he just say that? Did he just repeat himself? But you know, wouldn't that have been quickly discovered? Miss Jensen and the victim have similar physiques. If she wore the victim's mask, she could have easily taken her place. Miss Jensen, did you switch places with the victim? I wouldn't. Why, Granny, why are you the one sweating? Who was the conductor? In other words, tell me who was the true culprit. I can't. I mean, that would also cause trouble for Granny. Ouch! But Granny... I will accept whatever wrongs you may have done. Just tell me everything. Oh. Oh no! That's right, I've been a pineapple this whole time. You've seen through my disguise. As I thought, it appears you really were the accomplice. Miss Jensen, why? Miss Jensen, would you please tell us? Yes. Okay, Granny. I'm fine now. I switched places with the victim, Miss Crane. So you admit to being the conductor's accomplice? Yes, I helped out the conductor. I don't really know why, but for some reason, the conductor was expecting to be attacked by Miss Crane. The conductor expected an attack from the victim? They were so sure it was going to happen that they came up with a plan to counter it. A way to beat the victim at her own game, and that's when I was called in. I was told to wait in the storeroom before the auction began. Whoa there! You ain't fooling my eyes. If you were waiting in the storeroom, I reckon I would have bumped into you. After all, I've been up in that storeroom all the entire auction. I'm telling the truth. I wonder about that, you know. Can we really believe a girl would falsify a report? You would... Heh, there should have been many places to hide in that storeroom. Then by all means, tell me, where did our little nurse hide? The place in the storeroom where Miss Jensen hid was... I guess the box. That's where the box comes in.
Take that!
She hid inside the costume trunk. The costume trunk, eh? Ah, now that you mention it, that box was already there before I snuck in. It's finally the box. It's what I wanted this whole time. Merry late Christmas. I figured I'd hide in there myself, but it was wrapped up nice and tight with a chain. It was locked up too, so I had to give it up. Hello,
We,
everyone.
Akatsuki, will deliver.
I suspect that when you sneaked into the room, Miss Jensen was already inside the trunk. Yeah,
It would have been bad if one of the guests from the auction opened the lid. What's up, Sivia? What, his weird emote? It's Sideshow Box, like Sideshow Bob, but in box form. People aren't allowed to tell us what they did. We have to point it out, and then they're like, yeah, that happened. That's how life works, OP. After instructing me to hide inside, the conductor wrapped up a chain around the costume trunk. I think they went downstairs using the lift shortly thereafter. I couldn't breathe, though. It was right before the auction. So then, when the auction began, only you and Miss Hart were there in the storeroom. Yeah, that should be right. The auction had been going on as usual, but when a certain participant made the winning bid, the conductor committed the crime. Miss Hart must have heard the altercation that occurred then. You betcha! I was trembling behind that there statue the whole time. Following the altercation, Jill Crane was murdered. After killing Jill Crane, the conductor carried her body to the costume trunk. And Miss Jensen, who had been hiding in the trunk, was made to take Miss Crane's place. The victim's body was placed inside the costume trunk. The conductor then took Miss Jensen, who had been made to look like Jill Crane, and returned to the auction hall as if nothing had happened. Was this roughly what happened in the storeroom during the incident? Yeah, that's right. Hold it, pulling the old switcheroo with one of the auction guests. Ain't that impossible? That gal and the murder victim are two completely different people, you know? Don't you reckon one of the other participants would have noticed and caused a ruckus? No, not at all. The reason they didn't notice the switch was because... From what I can tell, Miss Jensen and the victim appear to have very similar physiques. Now, it couldn't have been the name one, because they're all anonymous. So, yeah. Yeah, that one was out the door right away. Furthermore, there was a rule requiring a mask to be worn during the auction. If their clothes were the same, I doubt anyone would have noticed she was a different person. Yeah, I blended right in. I borrowed Miss Crane's clothes and... Ouch! You mustn't embarrass the dead like that! I know, I also thought it was pretty heartless to leave her exposed like that. So then the conductor wasn't looking, I covered up in the raincoat that was up for auction. So she was the one who put the red raincoat on the victim. And then the auction resumed as if nothing happened. I reckon I took the picture of her in the red raincoat after that. That'd make all the facts line up. After I took the photo, I went right over to the lift to sneak a peek down below. I witnessed the 11 participants and then hightailed it back behind the statue. Don't tell me, you were hiding there the entire time until we found you? Nah, that's... how should I put it? What is it? Did something happen? I didn't mention it before, but after I might have dozed off a little. To be more precise, I fainted. Well, something like that. So something did happen. It ain't no big deal, kinda embarrassing to say though. There was this huge thump sound all of a sudden. I was a little surprised by that. It was right after I had just witnessed a murder, so I was shaking in my boots. My heart sort of tightened up and I was off to La La Land. The La 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 Land. When I woke up, it was already the next day, around the time you all came by the storeroom. I see, so there was a large sound. Miss Hart, I take it you do not know what transpired in the storeroom beyond this point. I guess, but after the auction, all the masks were properly returned. So I reckon the participants had to exit toward the storeroom, just like I done said. Miss Jensen, what were your actions after the auction resumed? I took the victim's place and participated in the auction. The conductor instructed me to win the bid for the costume trunk. Because the body was inside it, you know, obviously. It'd be kind of weird if you, like, took the body, or you, like, took the costume trunk home, and you were like, I'm gonna get this amazing Steel Samurai costume, and you open it up, it's just a dead body. Like, man, what a ripoff. So he said I should probably win it instead.
Would have been bad if another auction guest won the bid for it. You didn't realize the box was empty. No, we only found that out when we came up to the storeroom to pay the bill. The conductor was with me and told me to go search for her immediately. And then, I found another girl collapsed in front of the ladder.
Kay.
Yeah, she probably fell down from the roof and lost consciousness. Maybe the victim left the hatch open when she went up to the rooftop.
I understand now.
Kay was surprised at seeing the collapsed victim and did not notice the open hatch. She must have missed her footing and fell down to the storeroom, where she hit her head. Miss Hart, I have determined the sound that made you faint.
I'm glad they didn't have to make me do this. This one was pretty obvious.
Even for them. It was likely the sound of Kay falling into the storeroom floor. That might have been it. Though I reckon it'd be kind of pathetic to faint over something like that. Fainting over someone fainting? Like, man. What a conundrum. When Miss Jensen found the unconscious Kay, Miss Hart was also unconscious behind the statue. The situation is becoming clearer to me, Miss Jensen. Oh, clearer to me. Miss Jensen, please continue your story. I didn't notice there was a period there in my sentence. That I was speaking aloud. I'll just shut up now. After I found Kay and the victim, I put them both in the trunk. The customers at the auction found out there would have been a huge commotion. Was this an order from the conductor as well? Yes, it was. But since I secretly decided to put the raincoat on Miss Crane, I had to dispose of the raincoat without the conductor noticing.
So the conductor didn't anticipate the raincoat becoming another piece of evidence.
And finally, we dressed Miss Crane in the spare conductor's outfit.
I see. In doing so, you made the victim appear as if she was the conductor.
In the end, the auction ended without anyone noticing anything.
Miss Jensen, your crimes have become clear. If you know anything else, please hold nothing back.
I want to help you more, but that's all I know. If I had to say, there's just one thing that bothers me. When I took Miss Crane's place, I borrowed her clothes. But there was no way for me to borrow her hair. Ouch! What kind of coroner's assistant goes around stealing a corpse's hair?
I would think that robbing the deceased of the clothes would be questionable enough.
Both the collar and the length of our hair is different, so I was worried about how to disguise it. However, the conductor even had a wig prepared for me. In fact, he had two of them. Inside the costume trunk, there was both a straight wig and a wavy wig.
2 wigs. Why were there 2?
Who knows? Maybe it was a precaution in case the victim had changed her hairstyle. I ended up using the straight wig to match Miss Crane's hair.
2! So that means the wavy hair was left unused. Is that really all you know?
Yes. Yep, that's really all I know. I don't know why I had to listen to my grandmother for that.
So that means you don't know who the conductor is.
I'm sorry. I only knew that person as the auction conductor. I never saw that person without a mask on. The conductor seemed to be on the guard, towards everybody.
At this rate. Edgeworth, is that all you got?
Even if that little nurse is an accomplice, it changes absolutely nothing, you know?
In the end, the true culprit's still Kay Faraday. All you did was add another criminal, you know? Rule of law cannot be overturned, at least not for your sake. As far as I go, am I unable to save Kay? Da, 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 da. Francisca, why are you here?
Didn't I tell you, Miles Edgeworth, whenever there is a case, I will follow. Prosecutor Von Karma, your hard work is most appreciated.
Whoa, her fingers twitched a little bit there. I think they accidentally put in the end of her GIF sprite instead of, you know, the beginning of it.
However, don't get the wrong idea. I only came here to find out the truth behind what happened to Kay Faraday. I don't plan on forgiving you for abandoning the prosecutor's path, the name of this game.
We're still playing it, I haven't abandoned it, I swear. I know we took a long break after the first one for a while, but I came back. I'm still here. I understand.
You should thank your former subordinate. He gave me some valuable information which may save Kay Faraday. Detective Gumshoe did. What? No, I was talking about Larry. Listen well, Miles Edgeworth. This will be the final piece of evidence. Jill Crane suffered the wound on her head first. Yes, we know that. Well, someone say something. I hate to say it, especially be the first one to say it, because, you know, I'll probably get hit first. We already proved that. Already. You already proved. Yes, well, just a few minutes ago. Ow, dang it, I knew it. You should have told me sooner. You're the one who barged in here and started talking. Just like her. Of course. That's my one ability. Well then, does that mean you found out what the murder weapon was already? No, not yet. Is that so? In that case, listen well, I actually have something to tell you. The victim was struck in the head with a blunt cylindrical object. Cylindrical. What? Your face isn't obviously great, so take that. The wound on her chest was suffered post-mortem. Cylindrical murder weapon. Objection! Objection! You know this report of yours. I trust it's accurate, of course. These were the results of 2 independent autopsies carried out by 2 respected doctors. Objection! Objection! That's reassuring. But it's too bad you have no right to investigate them. Objection! Interposed after the black market auctions, and I'm the prosecutor in charge of the investigation. The victim participated in the auction. Therefore, it is only natural for me to investigate. In other words, shut up. Especially now that she's been murdered. I see, I see. Clever girl, little Von Karma. Well then, it has been settled. The victim died from blunt force trauma to the head. Hooray! Unfortunately, the murder weapon is yet to be found. Just knowing the shape of the murder weapon gives me an idea for what it might be. Hey, it's my investigation. We didn't find any murder weapons, you know? If you consider the conductor's possession in the crime scene, the answer should be clear. The blunt cylindrical object near the auction hall was... Judge Courtney's gavel. It's something the conductor had in their hand during the auction. Namely, an auction gavel. And on that, I need to be right back. Penny is giving me the weird look of she wants to go out.
Sorry about that. She's actually... She seems really, really tired. She was, like, super slow. All she wanted was a drink of water, too. Like, she was tired, like, getting there and, like, coming back. She didn't even want to go up the stairs. Anyways. Namely, an auction gavel. An auction gavel? We didn't find anything like that. And if the culprit is the conductor, it's possible that the gavel may be the murder weapon. However, that alone is not reason enough, wouldn't you agree? Of course, I have proof to back it up. Piece of evidence proves that it was the murder weapon is an auction gavel. Oh, I'm sure she's fine. She didn't seem like she was in pain or anything, she just seemed... just tired. She'll probably go right to sleep.
Take that!
According to Miss Hart's testimony, after the victim had been murdered, it seems she suddenly stopped hearing the sound of the gavel during the auction. However, she had been able to hear it up until then. Why was that, you ask?
No one asked that, but hey, don't ignore me.
It was because it had been used as a murder weapon and was covered in the victim's blood. It became necessary to dispose of it. Isn't that right?
Blaze the best.
Why are you talking to me?
I'll have a search for the murder weapon performed immediately.
Well, good luck with that, you know. You gotta work hard as you can while you're young, you see. He's completely confident that we won't find it.
Well then, while the search for the murder weapons continues, I hereby call for a brief recess. To be continued.
No, I don't want to save my data. I got hit so many times by the same stupid thing. Like me. See you, Greninja. Thanks for hanging out. Should we take a break for today or no? I think we can keep going for a bit. I'm fine. But I don't know how long the thing is.
Cease the prattling of the courtroom. Just reuse for this scene.
This is the last section. Okay. Then I will finish it tonight.
Order in the court. No, we're not in court. Prosecutor Von Karma, your report, please.
I have bad news.
We've searched every inch of the Grand Tower, high and low.
I started finishing my thought before finishing the sentence.
The auction gavel was nowhere to be found. That is most unfortunate. It seems I am left with no choice but to pronounce the verdict.
Oh, well, it sure seems that way, you know. Normally you wouldn't commit a blunder like leaving behind the murder weapon, you know. The best criminals would never do something like that, you see. Despite having been the, head prosecutor, he clearly doesn't know how people are. Ugh, I don't have enough information. Is this as far as I can go? Yes, it's a shame, you know, but it can't be helped, you see. Takes me back, you know. All those defendants who came to me asking for a plea bargain. They trusted me, you know, told me every little one of their dirty little secrets. And when it came time for the trial, I get them sentenced to life in prison. They were all completely dumbstruck, you know, each and every one of them. Oh, how I wish you could have seen it, you know, the stupid look on their faces.
I shall hereby announce my verdict. Please humbly accept the words of the law.
There's nothing more I could do. With this, both Kay and I are...
If only we had some sort of evidence. I never thought that I would be passing judgment on you like this.
Is this the end?
The defendant,
blazed the best. I hereby indict you. What?
What? I didn't see this coming either.
Oh? What's gotten into you all of a sudden? I have here documents regarding a certain case. This is the IS-7 incident, a case that happened 18 years ago.
Documents, you say? Why would you suddenly... Wait, you don't mean... On the day of the crime, the record of your keycard being used was because...
I came to this room to fetch these documents, of course. Although, when I entered the meeting room, it seemed it was before the black market auction had begun. At first I told you I came here to gather documents about you, Prosecutor Edward. At that time, I simply could not tell you the truth.
Oh, thank you. I was gonna jot these down real quick, I guess.
What are you doing, Justine? Why are you indicting Pops? Without any basis, this is slander! Also, ow! That was a wonderful remark, Sebastian. Huh? Really? Of course there is a basis. During the case 18 years ago, Prosecutor Manfred von Karma fabricated information regarding the body.
That was because the body of the sculptor Isaac Dover had been stolen.
Papa fabricated information about a body?
What do you mean? Did she not know about this? Like, this one specifically, yes, I could see her not knowing, but I feel like she did know he fabricated evidence, right? Also, she calls him Papa, that's adorable. Yeah, so many bad dads. Are we ever gonna see Phoenix's dad? Is he a bad dad?
Detective Lancer, who handled the initial investigation, reported that the body had gone missing. However, in order to deceive the Prosecutor von Karma, there's a person who purposely did not report to him that the body had disappeared.
Phoenix is a good dad, yes. That is accurate, Sivia. But, you know, he's also adopted dad? He adopted her, he didn't really... Fine, acceptable. Only adoptive dads are good dads.
What?
What did you say?
That person would not forgive those who defied him, nor would he allow others to hold power. He would use any means necessary in order to bend others to his will. And then, also 18 years ago, Director Young, who was ordered by a certain individual to write a fake autopsy report.
He adopted Miles, but he also shot his dad. That's still pretty bad dad. And also, even then, he wasn't really a good dad to Miles. Still belittled him and then set him up for murdering someone years later. I guess so. Dang. Is the counteract that the... Yeah, he raised him just to get back at Gregory, too. And then ended up shooting him anyway, or shooting his trust. Anyways. Dr. Young was the one who wrote the autopsy report, the IS-7 incident.
But please wait, Granny didn't do anything wrong. She was ordered by that person. She had no choice but to obey.
That person? From that country? You can't mean...
That person was the chief prosecutor at the time.
Yeah, I think that's probably the cutaway, though, is that he would spend all of the money he does have on his kid. Like, he would probably suffer for it, but he would definitely dote on his kid, I think. Also, he could probably ask Edgeworth for a raise if he got a kid. And Edgeworth would probably give him one.
The chief prosecutor 18 years ago. You don't mean...
The chief prosecutor who gave Popeye's first penalty.
Oh.
It was none other than you, Blaze the Best. Objection? What are you saying? Pops would never do something like that.
Overruled. Sebastian, we do not need your opinion right now. Go play in the corner with your blocks. Blaze the Best. Do you have a rebuttal? Fabricating stuff about the body. Von Karma did that all on his own, you know. Falsifying the autopsy report? Young, you would actually do something like that. Man, you really did terrible things behind my back, you know? Hold it! Seeing as how all the parties are concerned here today, we should ask them directly.
Please wait, Granny is... Ouch!
Granny, I'm sorry. I knew. That's why I... Yep, because if I didn't, he said he would expose you. If I didn't assist in the crime, Granny would be prosecuted.
Why did I slap her there?
That's why that man, that conductor, told me.
So, Miss Jensen was being threatened. Was the conductor who threatened you Blaze the Best?
I don't know. The person who threatened me was the auction conductor. They do have similar physiques, but I never saw the person's face.
Any trivial thing is fine. Give us a characteristic that could be a clue.
That's right, they have a big beard. The conductor's mask exposed a teeny part of his face. There was a tattoo there, I'm sure of it.
A tattoo, you say?
Objection!
Objection! I really have no idea what you're talking about, you know? As you can see, there are clearly no tattoos on my face, you see? So that person doesn't match me at all, you know? That person who threatened her, this so-called conductor. I wonder who it is, you know?
Overruled. You have incurred the wrath of the goddess of law. I suggest you watch what you say.
Hasn't he incurred your own wrath rather than the wrath of the goddess of law? Is that the same thing? You often talk like it's the same thing.
Jill Crane had been pursuing you, just as I have. And I will not let her death be in vain.
Crane was, you know, you say she was pursuing me? Mama, I didn't really know her that well, you know. I don't mind girls chasing after me, you know, but I don't recall her ever falling for me, you see.
You didn't know the victim well? That is a testimony we haven't heard up until now. Before the eyes of the goddess of law, you shall give us an official testimony.
I see. Everyone's bullying me, an old man. If you're gonna go that far, that's fine, you see. I'll just have to make you disappear. Every last one of you. That could easily be taken as a threat, and then you just get arrested right here. But whatever.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, I shall cooperate with you as well. If we do this, let this opportunity slip by, I doubt we will ever get him to stand in court again. Please, do not let this chance go to waste.
Yes. I promise I will live up to your expectations.
Now then, Blaze the Best, you shall testify regarding the victim.
Creepy. The victim, Jill Crane, was a member of the Prosecutor Investigation Committee, you see, or the PIC for short. Personally, I didn't really know her that well, you know. Either way, it's not like I had a motive to murder her, you know. I have no idea why she was pursuing me, you see. You intend to deny your guilt until the bitter end, don't you?
Of course he does. There's no way Pops could be the criminal. I mean, he's my Pops, you know? He's the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is his real test. To train them is his cause.
Yes, Sebastian, if you're gonna stick up for me, be sure to have a clear basis, you know?
Alright, I got it. I'll clear your view of these false accusations, Pops. I believe in you, Pops. We won't lose to someone like Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, yes, you really are pure, you know.
That person, he really loves his father, doesn't he? However, one must be able to accept the mistakes of their father.
Believe me, I could write a book on that.
No matter how much they may look up to him. Each person must atone for their crimes, no matter who they are, or what they are. If they're a table and they hit someone's leg, they must atone for this crime.
This is going to be hard for Sebastian, but he simply cannot overlook his father's crimes.
This definitely does seem like the time where they're gonna be like, alright Sebastian, we're gonna be a little bit nicer to you now.
So you're saying you weren't very familiar with the victim? That's right, I didn't even know about the burn mark on Crane's hand, you see? You didn't know about the burn mark. Well, you see, even if I had gotten close to her, she would have disappeared soon. It's a pain to remember someone, you know, when they're just gonna disappear, you see? In other words, anyone who defies him disappears. I would like you to add that statement about the victim's burn to your testimony.
Huh, they changed like the entire autopsy report. 11 p.m. and midnight. Uh-huh. I believe you, Flame. Tables can't be on fire. I think. That's actually a cool table idea, to just have like giant candles inside them or something. I don't know. As the lights. But lights are usually pretty separate. And that'd probably be a fire hazard. Alright, let's press this one. So I get a little more in-depth with that. So you're saying you didn't know about the victim's burn. Is that really the truth? You really are persistent, you know? Do you really think I'd pay attention to every little wound on a woman's hand? I would think a burn mark on the victim's hand would be hard to miss.
Now that you mention it, Jill Crane would regularly wear gloves. I too did not know about the burn mark until the incident occurred.
Jill Crane regularly wore gloves. I thought so. She was probably trying to hide the burn mark, you see? I understand how sensitive a woman can be about these things, you know? I would like to add your so-called sensitive understanding of a woman to your testimony. I mean, she clearly wasn't. I'm gonna press this again just because. So you were aware of the fact that she always wore gloves? Well aware. Those gloves were practically her trademark, you see? I guess they weren't just a fashion statement. She wanted to hide her burn mark, you know? I wonder if that girl over there is also hiding something under her bandages.
Huh? I mean, I'm not hiding anything except my eye. But if I release my eye, the demon inside me will get released into the world, and that can't happen.
I think you are, you know, you're hiding the face of a criminal. Those words should be directed at someone like you. I shall expose, here and now, the face of a true criminal. How amusing. Go ahead and try it if you think you can. So Jill Crane regularly wore gloves. That's interesting. I should look over the evidence one more time. Let's see, is the... I guess it would be her picture, right? Not to mention the victim in the photo. No, wait. I guess it would be the photo of her in this picture.
Right? Because if it's like, you could easily just argue, in this picture, her clothes were already taken, right? Could also just be this, to be like, hey, someone knew about it. Isn't this thing adorable? Ooh. How's it going? Trying to solve a murder, huh? Take a look at this piece of evidence, and then be like, wow, that's the wrong piece of evidence.
What do I think? Absolutely nothing at all, right, Sebastian? Yeah, Pops, that had nothing to do with your testimony just now. Oof. Even Sebastian. Looks like Mr. DeBest has gotten a bit livelier, hasn't he?
Indeed, he probably feels a lot more confident with his father backing him up. However, I will break through that confidence of the DeBest father and son duo. Well, that was cute. I mean, it has to be one of these two. Wasn't that one.
What's wrong, Edgeworth? You're getting all fired up. Maybe you should cool your head and think it over once again. Because I don't have time to put up with something meaningless as that.
Oof. So that was wrong.
Mr. Edgeworth, you really think someone like you can defeat my Pops? Pops is super important, you know?
Yes, you're embarrassing me, Sebastian, so please stop, okay? Plays the best. Seems to be a fairly formidable opponent. I should make my moves more carefully. When did I get healed? I guess between the save datas. Now watch me just be completely wrong everywhere. What's this? Oh, it's a key card, right? Lost testimony. It was a stuffed animal. What a surprise. Yeah. Excuse me, Sivia. You know how I am. But hey, we got to see Sebastian being pretty adorable, so it's fine. Jill Crane regularly wore gloves. If that is true, then it creates a huge contradiction. Oh, a huge contradiction, you say? I would like you to listen to the voices recording the stuffed animal one more time. Zzz. Hello! It's me, the stuffed animal. And the... Why does it say and the? Is that the start of a different recording?
I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. Silence, huh? I've been waiting for my chance to get revenge all this time. Ah!
We were under the impression that this was the moment when the victim was murdered. I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. We thought that this statement was said by the culprit. Isn't that fine? That was the problem, you know. There was a huge problem with that. If the victim had been wearing gloves from the start, it would have been impossible to see the burn on her hand.
Objection.
Objection. Gloves come off very easily, you know. She could have taken them off during the auction. That's
not true. Miss Crane had been wearing her gloves when I took her place. She must have been wearing them before she was murdered.
What are you saying? Don't you understand the position you're in?
I'm not scared anymore. I have Granny here with me, so you literally can't touch her without my knowing.
Blaze, your day of reckoning has finally come. Somehow, it seems like you all want to disappear.
Ah, now my beard! Ah, now, my beard almost disappeared. Permanently. The only one who would be disappearing here is you! Objection! Hey, how dare you say that to Pops? Does it really matter if the burn was visible or not? Objection! It certainly does matter. If the burn mark was visible, then we'd have a complete turnabout of the situation.
What? What are you saying? If the victim's burn mark wasn't visible, what exactly does that tell you?
Sebastian, turn your way of thinking around. If the victim was wearing gloves, then her burn mark could not have been seen. In that case, whose burn mark was seen?
Someone else's burn mark?
Precisely. The culprit must have had a burn mark as well. In other words, I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn mark from me. That burn from me. The person who said this was not the culprit, but the victim.
What? Impossibly.
Objection. Sebastian, could you please step aside? Edgeworth, all your reasoning up till now was just a figment of your imagination, you know? A blaze in the wind. Culprit had a burn mark? Where was it, you know? You can't answer that, and your logic doesn't hold up, you know? Where was the culprit's burn mark?
I wonder where the burn mark could have been. During the auction, wasn't everyone wearing a disguise?
Indeed, during the auction, everyone should have been dressed in a particular way. Burn mark was still visible under those conditions, then... Now, why don't you show us? Where was the culprit's burn? You'll have to show me the proof, you see? I know what I'm thinking, but I don't know what it wants me to say. Let's see. It was in this incident! Is what I'm thinking not work? Have we ever used the sting mask? Yeah, I think we did once. Okay, so my thought is that was the mark, but I don't know which one it wants me to say. Like, how do I say face? Wait. I guess just the masks? Or Karen's testimony? I'm getting all these wrong. Okay, I don't think it's that one, because there's nothing about her mask thing in there.
Are you suggesting you will tell me the burn mark is? Too bad. Just won't, you know? I was wrong.
Yeah, you were wrong.
Oh, I didn't see that it got added to the conductor's clothes. Okay.
Take that!
Will that be it then? Well, that's what I get for missing a beat. Weird that the mask didn't get added to the picture, at least. Oh well. It was what the conductor was wearing during the auction. In other words, the outfit you were wearing at the time. Ha ha ha! What can you figure out from the clothes alone?
Objection!
The conductor had been wearing a white suit, white gloves, and a mask. His attire covered up most of his skin. However, according to the Miss Jensen's testimony, the conductor's mask exposed a small part of his face. I can already see what's coming, but I'm not going to say it. In addition, while she thought there had been a tattoo here, it's possible that she simply mistook the burn mark for a tattoo.
A burn mark on his face?
Objection.
Oh no, my dad does have one of those.
Yeah, they've been pretty clear about it. It's not really hidden. It's all very scintillating. Scintillating? What's that word mean?
But I'm afraid you're getting excited over nothing, you know? None of the PIC members have any burn marks on their faces, you see? Naturally, that includes me as well, you know? Huh? But Pops... But... Sebastian, could you please be quiet? If you're an idiot, then act like one, you know?
Normally, Sebastian is a nuisance to everyone around him. But this time, I owe him my gratitude. That reaction from Blaze's own son reveals the truth more clearly than anything else. Thanks to him, I am confident that my reasoning is correct. Yeah, that's our job. But no, this is definitely very sad for poor Sebastian. No bullying Sebastian, too pure. He is definitely pure. I think I'd probably like him more if Courtney wasn't kind of a butt a lot of the time. But you know, she had her reasonings too. I know what that unidentified piece of evidence belongs to.
I wonder what's wrong with that prosecutor.
Usually, Sebastian's slower to arrive at the truth than anyone else. However, this time he has probably figured it all out. His own father is a criminal.
Since he knows the truth, he's in pain, isn't he? If he didn't know the truth, he could have remained blissfully in his ignorance.
Okay, we are here in order to pursue the truth. Doesn't matter what path my reasoning takes, the important thing is to arrive at the truth. Once before, when I lost faith in my reasoning, you said that to me and showed me the way. This time I shall show you the truth. You are innocent.
I also want to know the truth. Mr. Edgeworth, please tell me.
Oh. Yes, that's the spirit. That's impossible, you know, for all of you. I mean, just where could I possibly have a burn mark? Nowhere to be found, you see. There's no evidence to prove I'm the culprit, you know?
That's right, no contradiction at all. There's no way there can be a contradiction, not from my Pops.
Objection. Sebastian, I understand why you don't want to admit it. However, if you will avert your eyes from the truth, you will regret it forever.
Pops, what should I do?
Ha! I really wonder why you're such an idiot, you know? Sebastian, if you really want to save me, you'll have to try a little bit harder. Gotta use your head, you know? Honestly, you really are a useless idiot.
No way. But I tried real hard. I tried my best, Pops. I went to school you told me to go to, reached the top of my class just like you told me. I just look at this jacket. Only someone who graduates the top of this class gets to wear it. I did everything you told me to do. That's how I got to be the best at the academy.
I even won all those awards just so I could be like you, Pops.
Objection.
Objection. You really are such an idiot, you know? You know those gold stars you got on your test? I made the teachers give them to you. Every speech and debate contest, all the judges were my friends. You know, Sebastian, if you weren't even able to notice something like that, you really are not worthy of being called my son, don't you think?
Yeah, but...
Oh. Ah, even my son has disappeared. Oh my, it's enough to make me cry, you know? He was trying his best for me, and yet he was totally useless, you know? You are truly a despicable person. Couldn't have put it better. As the chairman of the PIC and as a father.
Even I feel sorry for that foolish prosecutor.
Poor Mr. Prosecutor.
Blaze the best, you. Just what do you think of your own son?
He's just a useless pawn, you see. Whoa now, maybe you should look in the mirror before you criticize me, you know? I mean, even you also used Sebastian to get close to me, didn't you?
I cannot deny that. However, he is not a mere pawn. He's my son. He always tries to do his very best, even if the results aren't up to par. I've seen just how hard he tries, and yet you refuse to even acknowledge this.
Objection.
Acknowledge it. I want to say this, but she went with it. That kid's no good, you see? No matter what he does or is told to do.
Prosecutor Edworth, I shall leave this offering to the goddess of law to you. Deliver her divine judgment against Blaze the Best.
Yes, that was my intention from the beginning. There's a burn mark on the conductor's face, and Blaze the Best must be hiding it. What was he wearing during the auction? That is the key to revealing the truth.
Well then, allow me to hear your answer. Please show the piece of evidence that proves the culprit had a burn mark on his face.
Take that!
Tap your head. If you were to call Miss Jensen's testimony, there is still one point that remains unexplained. 2 types of wigs had been prepared, one of which was left unused.
Do you mean the wavy wig? What are you talking about?
It was something Miss Jensen found when she switched places with the victim.
What does something like that have to do with the burn?
Inside the costume trunk, Miss Jensen witnessed 2 wigs. One of them had been used by Miss Jensen to make her look like the victim. Now then, just what was the other wig used for, and where did it go?
Doesn't seem like it was a spare wig.
There's no need to overthink it. Just compare the attire of the true culprit and the conductor with that of Blaze the Best. Don't stare at me like that. Don't you think there's just one spot where there's a huge contradiction? Specifically around his face?
So that's not a wig at all.
Indeed, it was no wig. Blaze the Best, it was your fake beard! Ah. So you noticed that my beard was surprisingly fire resistant. I'm sure you'll have to point out one more time, as I know where it's going. This is a real beard, you know? Don't tease me like that, Edward. Your son must have realized the truth before anyone else. That's why he was trying so desperately to protect you. You were also worried that he would tell the truth. Isn't that why you drove your son away from here? Because he knew that his father was hiding a burn under his fake beard. Yeah. Blaze the Best. How about you remove that fake beard of yours? Yeah. It burns! Oh no! Hey, how's it going? That's a weird burn.
A burn mark! How did he not get another one from that giant explosion of flame? As expected, I kind of expected his hair to go up in flame as his broken scene.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, justice has been served before the goddess of law. For that, I give you my thanks.
I should be the one thanking you.
Blaze the Best, I hereby announce my verdict. You shall be taken into custody for the murder of Jill Crane.
We don't get to see his sprite without his beard. Also, I like how all of those guys were silent the entire time. Not one of them spoke up.
Mr. Edgeworth, thank you very much. So happy you believed in me at the very end.
There's no need to thank me. As a prosecutor, and as your friend, no, as a friend, I simply wanted to save you.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, I bring good tidings. Seems that former Chairman DeBest has been safely detained in the detention center. However, the search for the murder weapon, the auction gavel, continues. Blaze DeBest is a shrewd man, good chance that he's already disposed of it. There is also one piece of testimony that concerns me. Blaze DeBest mentioned that the only thing he did not fake were the letters.
What did you mean?
First, he found this letter in Jill Crane's clothes. Then he also found this letter on Kay, who was unconscious in the storeroom. The contents of the letter seemed to suggest the two had been corresponding with each other. Which is why Blaze DeBest assumed the two were working together.
Ridiculous. That can't be right.
After reading the two letters, he decided to pin the crime on Kay Faraday. In order to cast suspicion on her, he planted one of the letters at a noticeable spot. The deceased Jill Crane's left breast pocket.
Isn't that just an excuse?
Yes, that is what I thought as well. It may have been simply a last-ditch effort to save himself. However, before the stern eyes of the goddess of law, these are all trivial matters. His crime shall certainly not go unpunished. With this, I have finally fulfilled one of my long-standing missions.
Judge Courtney, will you tell me what you know? Why did Blaze DeBest murder Jill Crane? And what lies hidden behind this case?
Yes, I don't mind. You have the right to know everything. Ahem. Long ago, Jill Crane was in love with a cameraman. That man was pursuing the black market auction as a journalist, much like Lotta Hart here. And then, before he could reach the truth, he was erased. The feelings and the items Miss Crane inherited from her beloved brought her to the auction. She had come to exact revenge on the conductor, Blaze. Although in the end, she was the one who was murdered instead.
I see, so that's what happened.
While the goddess of law cannot condone her actions, we have succeeded in her goal of bringing Blaze DeBest's crimes to light.
So Judge Courtney's goal was to expose Blaze DeBest and reveal the dark secrets of the PIC.
By the way, what happened to the young prosecutor? We have been unable to contact him for some time now. Do you have any idea where he might be? I have not been truly working for him, so... I see. I feel sorry for him. What you should be sorry for is the fact that he was kept in the dark until now. No matter how cruel the reality is, we will have to accept it. If he can't, he won't be able to walk his own path in life. Ever.
A father's influence is not something that easily erased. However, I'm sure he'll be able to change from here on out.
Yes, that's right. Surely. You must be right. Will I, too, be able to walk my own path of life? Kay, it's your body, alright? Yeah, thanks to you. I'm so sorry. Even though you're my patient, you ended up getting us suspected because of me. Ow! Why?
You can't just take care of the patient's body. You gotta take care of the heart, too. I mean, that's part of their body, but shut up.
That's my granny. Kay, how are your memories? I feel like I'm on the verge of remembering something. Well then, I shall take my leave here. I will be presiding over Patricia Rowland's trial. Who? That'll be the trial for the murder of Horace Knightley. Who's in charge of defense? Miss Crane was supposed to be a defense attorney, but now she has passed away. We are currently arranging for the replacement defense attorney. Jill Crane has been in charge of Patricia Rowland's defense? What? I'll also have to get in contact with Sebastian quickly, since he's the prosecutor in charge. Well then. Ah, but please wait, what about Mr. Edgeworth's prosecutor's badge?
Oh. I only recognize Knightley, to be honest. That's the only name I was like, oh yeah, I know that guy. He has a silly name. So, you know, don't judge me.
With the chairman's arrest, the PIC is no longer functional, so I cannot answer that question easily.
It's too late. No. Have I been judged by the Civia of Law?
Perhaps one could say only the goddess of law knows. But that's...
Duh, duh, duh. You don't need to worry about me. This is the path that I have chosen.
It seems you have no plans to change it either.
Of course not. I chose this path to seek the truth.
With the departure of Blaise de Best, the law is once again returned to our hands. If you truly desire to continue the prosecutor's path...
Ding ding, name of the game again.
I am willing to assist you in reclaiming your badge.
I appreciate the sentiment, but I must decline. I did not relinquish my badge with half-hearted feelings.
I see. It seems that our paths of law will continue to run counter to each other.
Until our paths cross once again, I shall have you hold on to that badge.
That was my intention from the start. I'm also here, you know. However, on occasion, the goddess of law is quite generous. Please return this notebook to its proper owner.
Kay's promised notebook.
It seems this was scheduled to be up for bidding at the black market auction. The name Kay is written on the notebook, and obviously that can't be anyone else. It seems Blaise de Best quickly realized this belonged to the girl, since the letters he found also contained the same name.
You speak as if he really did not know about the letters. Are you saying that Blaise really did not prepare the letters himself?
Yes, that man said so himself. Kay Faraday's goal was to steal back the notebook. Jill Crane's goal was to get revenge. In order to achieve their goals, the two teamed up to infiltrate the auction. Or so he says.
Unfortunately, this was all Blaise's misunderstanding. It was purely a coincidence. If the attorney from the PIC and Kay were acquaintances, it would be strange that she never mentioned it to me, considering her personality.
You really do trust her, don't you? In the end, the notebook was used as another red herring, but it's something that is very important to that girl, isn't it? I'll make a special exception and return it. I'm sure that's what the goddess of law desires.
That's, I appreciate it. It's kind. Is that a word you can affiliate with this?
I shall pray she recovers from her lost memories. Good day, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Ex-Prosecutor Edgeworth, sorry, slipped the tongue.
Boy howdy, where's that put me in this situation? Oh, I guess I'm being ignored again, never mind.
Is something wrong?
Kay, I'm returning something very important to you. It's like I'm glad I don't have a camera right now. You see my sad face. My sad smiling face. That's a great picture of Edgeworth.
this is... Always greet people with a smile, even people you don't know. Never cry in front of strangers. Look, Daddy, I wrote them all down. Yep, I'll be sure to follow all of our promises and become a hero just like you, Daddy. That's right. There was one more. I forgot to write down the most important promise. Promise number 5. Always try your hardest to learn about things you don't understand. I'll be sure to remember. I'll never ever forget them. Always try your hardest to learn things you don't understand. That's right, I am the great thief who steals the truth, Kay Faraday. I'm the second Yatagarasu and Edgeworth's assistant.
To linger there for a second.
Kay, you remember? It's kind of embarrassing, though. Thank you so much. It's all thanks to you, Mr. Edgeworth. Even when I lost my memories, you were still always trying to save me, right?
Seems you're back to normal.
Wow, Kay, you've gotten better. Your health comes first. Now you can relax.
Huh? Just make sure you don't run off and lose all your memories again.
Heh. Ah, Miss Jensen, Dr. Young, thanks for worrying about me.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're feeling all better, how about changing back into your own clothes?
I washed your clothes for you, okay? So they're nice and clean.
These clothes. Wasn't Detective Gumshoe holding on to them?
He said forensics was done with them, so he gave them back to me.
Have they revealed the results of the analysis yet?
To be honest, I actually didn't think to ask about that. Now, more importantly, let's hurry and get you changed, Kay?
Still, isn't it better if we do not remove her bandages?
She should be fine now. Kay just bumped her head. She didn't really have any other major injuries. She's just wearing those because they look cool.
Then, why was she so heavily bandaged?
Better safe than sorry. A pound of prevention is worth more of an ounce of a cure. That's my motto.
What a troublesome motto.
Come on, Kay, let's get you dressed up over there. Everyone turn your back or I'll kill you. Hey, look, she got the key back. Whew, now this is definitely what a great thief should look like. A smile certainly suits you best, I have to say, in the past and as now as well. Miss Von Karma, thank you for coming too. I only came because Scruffy asked me to.
These two are good friends. I feel like Francisca gets, like, more adorable every time she appears. Outside of, whipping everybody in anger.
That's Scruffy. He also wanted to see your energetic self again. Gummy, what happened to Gummy? Who knows? Maybe he was disgusted with the man who willingly threw away his prosecutor's badge.
Detective Gumshoe.
I must be going soon. I'll be taking these ladies in for questioning. Huh? What's going to happen to the two of them? One aided in the murder of an attorney, the other forged an autopsy report 18 years ago. These crimes definitely won't disappear. Of course, I will mention in court that they were being blackmailed by Blaze. We'll be just fine. As long as Granny's by my side, we're invincible.
Why'd you have to hit her? Is that her only smiling face, like, towards the camera, so they have to animate her hitting her grandmother just so she can smile?
It's the only thing that makes me happy in this world. Well then, take care.
Now then, Kay. Sorry to ask so soon right after you regain your memories, but I have some questions.
Sure, ask me anything you want.
What were you doing on the day you lost your memories?
On that day, I was asked to come to Gourd Lake. You know the one. You were there once. I don't know who called me there, though. As I was watching the moon at Gourd Lake, a person in red raincoat approached me. All of a sudden, he used some kind of drug to knock me out. What? What did she say? The place where Kay saw the moon was at Gourd Lake? When I woke up, seeing that I somehow ended up on the roof of the Grand Tower. My mind was still in a daze, so I stumbled around for a bit. That's when I found the person in the red raincoat collapsed. I was startled, and when I stepped back in panic, I fell from a high place and got knocked out cold again. And when I woke up, all my memories were gone. The person in the red raincoat. Who exactly was that person? Oh yeah, I was certain I saw them walking in midair. Somehow this is all starting to make my head hurt. Please calm down. You're just a little confused because you've only recently got your memories back. Most likely, this is the main cause of your confused memories. You fell in a hole. This is probably the main cause of your confused memories. Saw the moon at both the Gourd Lake Park and the Grand Tower rooftop, which led you to confuse the two places. Huh? But aren't they totally different places? Even if I was a daze, do you really think I get the confused? Most likely, there was something at the Grand Tower which led you to confusion. This thing, I guess, right? No, the unicorn! Or the alicorn. What was it called again? The Pegasus unicorn? I think it was alicorn.
Take that!
The Grand Tower rooftop and Gourd Lake have 2 points in common. They both have a cherry tree and a food stall. Oh, either one would have worked. Now that you mention it, your memories were confused because you had been in 2 similar locations. The person that you first saw could have not have been walking in midair. They were simply walking on the ground at Gourd Lake Park. You must have gotten that scene confused with the Grand Tower rooftop. So that's what happened. How dare they steal the memories of a great thief? They'll pay for this. Nevertheless, I wonder who the person that assaulted Kay was. That person in the red raincoat who appeared at Gourd Lake. Beep, beep, beep. What's that noise? Sounds like it's coming from the storeroom. Mr. Edgeworth, let's go check it out. Hey, what's this? My shutterbug sense is tingling. I smell me another scoop. You're still here? Stop taking pictures of me. How did they get there from... Stop it. Mr. Edgeworth, if the walkie-talkie hears what's beeping... this transceiver. Why do I feel like I've seen it somewhere before? It's still beeping, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm not particularly familiar with this sort of device. Come on, we have to answer it. Here it goes. Hello, Mr. Edgeworth speaking. Kay, please don't just answer it on your own. I'm speaking with Mr. Miles Edgeworth, I presume. This voice is... Shelley the Killer! We have seen it before. I congratulate you on resolving the case. However, can you truly say in good conscience that it has been solved? Are you aware of the mastermind who is pulling the strings behind this incident? You? Why do you know about the incident? That's not important right now, wouldn't you agree? Right now, we're discussing the mastermind behind this case. I've had an inkling that such a person existed, even before you said anything. After all, there was evidence to suggest that someone used K to disrupt the investigation. Huh? There was? So, who's this mastermind? I would like to hear your thoughts on the matter. Would you kindly show me the evidence that indicates the existence of a mastermind?
I mean, I would assume the letters, but I feel like that's a red herring. It's a common thing, okay, Sivia? Gosh. Should I save? Will I get kicked out of this? Is this one of those things you can miss? Also, geez, it's like surprisingly hot in this room. No, I go back to Leon again. I have to take Leon to court. Like, is it true that you're the one that took your game off of the Switch ports? Well, on the off chance it is, I will do this. It's hard to trust myself. For a lot of reasons.
Take that!
It was the letter that Kay had allegedly sent to the victim.
Come to think of it, I don't remember writing that letter at all.
It was also, like, clearly fake in the description, but who could have prepared this letter? I, too, am quite curious to know. So you're not the one who wrote the letter? What could I possibly gain for doing such an act? Is it not necessary for you to stand in court in order to make the truth clear? What can you possibly do now that your badge has been taken from you? I look forward to finding out from the shadows. This man, how does he know that? Do we have an understanding? Please ensure you do not betray my trust. Now then, if you excuse me.
He said the case wasn't solved yet. What do you mean by that? And why would Mr. the Killer even bother telling us that? Ugh, nothing makes sense anymore.
This case has not reached a true conclusion yet. However, although I've lost my prosecutor's badge, who I am still has not changed. I'm still an avid fan of the Steel Samurai. The Silver Samurai, one of the two. While I don't know where this may lead me, I shall reveal the truth, I swear it. The end! And now, a brand new episode has been added. The Grand Turnabout. And now, next time we begin the grand finale, I assume. Oh, Sebastian. I just had a random thought. I don't want to say it because I think Reborn would do it. But just like the little music thing and his hair. Sebastian Ping. On the fish. But anyways. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. That was a very good / spooky case. Like, definitely does help you, like, lucky I can't. Good. Definitely gives you a better reason to not only sympathize with Sebastian and understand him better, but also, like I said, when that moment happened, like, have that moment of Phoenix and Edgeworth teaming up with Courtney and Edgeworth, or Edgeworth and Courtney. Like, that was probably the best part. Well, that was the second best part. The actual best part was the thing we heard at the beginning and the end. So, thanks everybody for joining me for this adventure and my terrible voice acting, as always. I really appreciate your company, and I hope you have a good night. However, for the tomorrow, I will say, even like using the YouTube thing, if there's anyone actually that watches those, can just ignore this part. Tomorrow I will most likely not be doing anything, regardless if it's noisy or not. I have small things I feel like I should like sit down and actually do. You know, like maybe clean up my room a bit. No, this does not mean you're getting a room tour if I clean up my room. Anyways. Thank you for joining me, everybody. I hope you all have a good night. Hope you enjoyed the stream. And be sure to believe in the me that believes in the you, even if you don't remember why. I will see you all later, and have a good night. I'm really bad at ending things.